Hello, beautiful people. After a long time, 2 episodes, we are back. Just the two of us. Just the two of us.
So much was happening last week, boy.
I was all over the gap because I knew he was coming in. I wasn't in the conversations early on because I'm really aware of what's happening.
No, I did not pick up on anything.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Like, when I say nothing, not that I could have predicted Michael Jackson was going to resurrect, but I didn't suspect a single thing. Like, I didn't notice any weird behavior, like nothing.
I'm just glad I've got to surprise you. No, I never got to surprise you.
You completely gagged me. Like, literally, when I heard the door, even then, I wasn't thinking who's that. I was just thinking it was the guys.
Yeah, but to be fair, there's no way you're gonna think, oh, it's gonna be Michael Jackson.
Like,
There's no real reflection of being like it's gonna be Michael Jackson.
No
but
chance.
That was a very Michael Jackson filled day for you. But before we get into the man that is Michael Jackson, let's get into the ladies. That is I, Tolly T,
and just call me Audrey.
Ow! Welcome to episode number
290.
290 of the Receipts Podcast. It's a good day. It's sunny outside the day we record this.
Yeah,
I went to the gym this morning, went for a walk. Annoyingly, all of the things they tell you works. And it's very fucking jarring.
Because it's the truth.
It's the truth. Like, going outside for a walk, it helps. Moving and exercising, it helps. All of them endorphins they speak about, it is true. Your PE teacher was not lying to you. She is right. And also what's very annoying that she's right about that, it does help with period pains. And I hate that bitch of being correct because it does. It really
Mine's
does.
Any minute now.
Exercising does help when the lining of your uterus is shedding.
Yep.
So hold tight, Miss Folger, my PE teacher from Dagenham Priory / Park.
Hope you're well, Miss Folger.
Hope you are well, Miss Folger. That was my favourite teacher. We all had one.
Yeah, we all had one.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of mine now. It's so bad. But she was my art teacher. And like, I've been actually trying to remember her name now for years. And do you know what's madder? I remember our teaching assistant from primary school, but not my art teacher from secondary school.
Maybe she didn't make the impact you thought she made.
But she did, because she helped me to get my A in art. But I can't remember her name. Like, I literally cannot remember. All I know is that she was just the most typical art teacher ever. Like,
was she floaty?
She was floaty, and she had like this amazing, like, really curly hair, and she always wore slacks and like a loose fitting top. And like no bra.
I think that style was one of my retirement style.
She was
that
just
boho
so cool.
baggy kind of. That's how I'm gonna retire. Yeah.
And she wore a red lip to school every day, and she was so cool. And she would just be like, and she was from up north, and she'd just be like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be your interpretation. That's what she would. That's what she would always say. She'd be like, do you know what? But obviously, because I could actually draw, she'd be like, oh, do you know what's brilliant that is? Like, and she would always give me my props. I can't remember. It began with a C, and it's really frustrating, but I love you wherever you are.
Hold tight.
Yeah,
hold tight you.
Hold tight you.
I often think about teachers from school and I'm like, I hope they were alive.
Yeah.
Because some of them are quite old when I was in school.
One of my teachers but he was like deputy. So you know you have the headmaster, you have the deputy, and then you have like the person underneath.
Yeah.
He was the person underneath, so he was quite senior. And like he was in like the local paper for getting arrested for an inappropriate relationship.
There's always one. Like, we had one as well that was in the papers. There is always one. And to be fair, the one that were caught in our school, nobody was fucking surprised that Mr. Weaver was a perv.
No, I was surprised by this one.
Really?
Because I just could never. I mean, this was many moons ago. I was in secondary school, but the fact that you're still there, like you've been in that job for a minute, so because he was there before I came. He was there all throughout my brother and sister's time at the school. And so to find out that and I remember like people from school were sending it to me on Instagram via DM, and they were like, oh, I've just heard about Mr. Sirens. I was just like, what?
Yeah. And also, I am always going to have what's that thing where it goes on forever?
Infinitive.
Thank you. Infinitive. Like respect for some teachers, like no matter how old I am, if I see you out, I will be like, "Hi, Miss Folger."
Yeah.
Like I think like I will add the I will never call you your name. Some of them I even know their first name, but I will never call them their first name. But no, nobody was shocked when we saw that Mr. Weaver. In fact, I'll be very honest with you. A little part of us we kind of knew, and we used it to get away with bullshit. Like there was that age when, let me speak for myself, when you kind of were aware of the Oh, I hold power a little bit by my femininity and being like, oh, I don't know, sir. Oh, I didn't mean to, sir. And I was like, great, let's run with that.
And the bad teachers you could get, if they were a bad teacher,
you could get away with it.
Yeah,
there was a teacher, a PE teacher, Mr. Taylor. Buff. Buff. I'm sure I've talked about this before. We used to drop pencils and be like, sir, I dropped my pen, can you pick it up? We didn't know.
School girls are so funny.
We were horny little things. We were horny little things. And it hasn't died. Horny little thing then, a horny little thing now. Let's talk about the man who sang Pretty Little Things.
Yeah.
Fuck me, I'm great.
What a segue.
I started doing that in normal conversations. So when I do something good in a conversation, the person does that, I'm like, that was funny.
That's a segue.
I don't think you realise what I just did there.
Could we take it back?
In the industry that we call a segue, and I think you should acknowledge how well I just did that. Pretty Young Thing.
Yeah. The MJ film is out. It's officially out. Yeah, it's out. So I went to see it.
So yeah, you had a very Michael Jackson
I
filled
had
last week.
such a Michael Jackson filled week last week. It was brilliant. And do you know what? Actually, do you know what I will say? Shout out Community, because when people really know you love something, like, do you know how many people were like, I was literally, like, you did it, Nadia did it, and even when I saw Jacob, Jacob was like, no, listen, I was speaking to everybody to make sure that you were on the list for the script. Like, everybody was like really fighting to make sure that I went. So shout out all of you guys that did that. I really, really appreciate it. I honestly thought it was so nice. So yeah, so I went to the screen and it was really nice. It was like a big thing, because I didn't do a premiere here.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah, so they only did a premiere in, I think they're doing one in LA, and they did it in Berlin. So that
Yeah,
was like
LA
an official
happened last week,
international one, because Michael had like an affinity with Berlin, and that's where he dangled Blanket out of the
Who
window.
is now not Blanket anymore?
I know, he's now called Biggie.
Biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
But Biggie doesn't like the film, by the way.
a lot of the family don't.
Yeah, Biggie's not into the
Paris
film.
was not happy with it. Janet was not happy with it for various reasons. So yeah, so I went to see it, and I did think the film was really fun. I feel like in the environment that I went to see it in, it couldn't be anything other than fun. Do you know what I mean? They obviously went out of their way to make it an extravaganza. And when you haven't seen something, of course, the anticipation naturally just builds excitement. I'm not saying the film was bad, but I definitely think it was rushed. And
So it was not good.
Yeah, and when I say rushed, I don't mean rushed as in like they didn't take their time to make it. I feel like his story was not told properly.
Okay, because there was like an article about it, and it was titled "The Michael Jackson Film is Bad."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love the double entendre.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're not saying it was bad. It was bad. Say the truth, shame the devil.
No, I don't think it was bad. I think it was a lot of fun. I don't think the storytelling was great. I was saying before, like, I feel like there were too many parts that were montaged. And I just, do you know what I mean? And it's just like, it kind of felt like a really long music video.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and there's certain parts of the story that they absolutely should have fleshed out. So for example, when I thought that they were going to build up to his big Motown 25 performance, that's a massive time in Michael's career when he did that. And there was so much meaning behind him doing that performance, because basically, long story short, he didn't want to perform with his brothers anymore. He was fighting for his independence. And so when he did that performance and he got that solo slot, he said he would only perform with his brothers if he could have that solo spot. They did not depict that. And I thought that was a mad thing to leave out. And it kind of just cut from like whatever the scene was to Motown 25. And I just feel like that was a massive part.
So what was the inciting moment in the film? Like, what was it? What was the storytelling? What part of his life are we talking about here?
So I guess they started off from when he was young, and they did delve into the abuse of Joe Jackson, which was quite heartbreaking. Like literally.
Not his abuse to kids.
No, they didn't get to that bit. But we've got to remember it cuts before we get to all of that.
Okay.
So it cuts at 1989, and there's a second part, and they are going to delve into all of that stuff. So they talked about his abuse that he received at the hands of his dad, and that was quite sad. And the little boy that played him done a brilliant job. And what's
Did his nephew do a good job?
Cole Domingo?
Did his nephew do a good job?
Yeah, he did. Jafar killed it. Like, he sounded exactly like him. Like, it was uncanny. The performances were perfection. But I just think the story, I just feel like with Michael, you either need to focus on him as a complex person or his excellence as an artist. I just don't think you can do all of the things at once.
Right, okay.
So I just feel like I don't think we've really got to understand who he was, why he was so complicated, like, and it just felt rushed.
Because I was listening to the rest of the entertainment and they were talking about the film and what it was meant to be and what it eventually is, right? So apparently it was meant to start the original script that like Coleman said yes to, because he's not promoting it at all. Really, like, and you can always because like we do it when we're on something we didn't really love.
I'm not posting that shit.
I do not talk. If you find it, you find it. Either we don't love it, or we didn't like how the day went, or we don't like how we looked. I don't say a word about it.
Same. There's so many things I haven't reposted.
So many things. If you catch me on a day and I was like, I looked great and I was talking thing, cool, I'll repost. We post it all the time. But like, even if the day felt shitty, I'm not doing that. You made me feel like shit when I was there. So we do it. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. This is a huge film for him not to be like, because I follow Nia Long. So she's talking about it. She's done so many covers. She did Playboy, which I actually want to talk to you about her interview in Playboy. She did Self the other day as well. So she's like really promoting it. But Domingo kind of isn't, and I really like Domingo. I think he's great actor anyway.
He was excellent, by the way.
Was he?
Excellent as Joe Jackson.
Oh,
Absolutely
really?
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll give him that. Yeah.
He's a really good actor. Second season of 4 seasons is coming up on Netflix. 4 seasons, such a good show. Anyway, my point was, apparently the original script was meant to start at the arrest of Michael Jackson. So that arrest where the kid drew his penis. And they made him take a picture of his penis to see if the picture aligned. So that was where it was meant to start. So it was really meant to be this kind of like quite a reflective thing on all of that side of it. But what they didn't realise that was that boy, the deal that he signed included that he could never be remade in the film. There could never be a version of him in a film anyway. So then they had to now pay to now reshoot so much of it. So I think that's why it probably felt rushed, because they just had to kind of make up a new story, because I think what they wanted to concentrate on, they couldn't because like according to the law, they just couldn't. So there was that as well. So I think maybe the story wasn't kind of what it was meant to be, which is why it's kind of not great.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think it would have been, even as a superfan, I do think it would have been good to tell that side of the story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that you should leave major parts out. And
it's too big of his story to act like it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you should. I think that you should tell it as accurately as you possibly can and depict all of those things, because I think for a lot of people that is a massive stain. Yeah. And as it should be, as to why people can't really fan out over him, because whether you have doubts or not, and I don't expect people to like have the same thought process as me, like I completely get it. Like if you don't fuck with him because of the allegation, I completely respect it. If you're not a super fan, you're not gonna do the deep dives that I've done to come to the conclusions I've come to. So I completely
Is there, do you know, in your deep dive, we don't have to go through this again. We've done this in so many episodes. So I will not make you go through this again. Has there ever been a thought process like, why was it always young boys? If it was like, I love the children, why wasn't just all the children? Why wasn't he sharing beds with the girls? Why wasn't all the children in Epstein Island? Sorry, what was it called? Neverland. Why weren't they all there? Why was it just the boys?
I think with Michael, I think when all of that stuff was happening, he was always seen with young boys. So the agenda that I feel that was put on him is it's easy to manipulate something or to create an agenda around something when people are giving you something. And
but were there girls at Neverland?
And there was always girls there. Like he always had, like,
but he never shared a bed with them.
He always had children at the ranch and all the rest of it. Like it was always open to families to come and stay there and all the rest of it. But I personally think that because he was targeted, you have to make these things sound so much more egregious. And if you add like a homophobic like lens onto the paedophilia, it just makes it seem worse. Listen, I'm not saying that his behaviour wasn't erratic or abnormal or any of these things. I agree. I don't agree with any of that stuff. Like, I don't agree with and I just think that Michael just did himself a disservice, because there was definitely an element of him that felt like he was untouchable. Like, and I think that you would think that if you're the biggest superstar in the world.
He is too famous for what, especially to be that famous outside of the internet, is. I don't know. Even like, there's a new generation of people that are like, you know, Michael fucking Jackson. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? And there's so many famous people in his generation that these kids have no idea about. These kids don't know Cisco.
Yeah, it's so true.
But they know Michael Jackson.
Yeah, they do. And he's like a global sensation, like literally all over the world. If you go to villages in, remote parts of the world or whatever, they know who he is. And I just think that he was ill-advised. I think that he just I think in his head, because he didn't think he was doing anything wrong, I think he felt like, why shouldn't I be able to outwardly express my love for kids and all the rest of it? Like, everybody else is turning this and making it into something dirty, as opposed to just being like, do you know what, you've had these things on your name, you probably shouldn't do that. And I think that he just, like all superstars, like they have this the sense of delusion, or a sense of like a god complex or whatever that he had. So I definitely think he had that. I think he had many problems. I think he had arrested development. I think that he had many, many things, also the abuse and all the rest of it. Do I personally think that he was an abuser based on the research that I've done, which is also very much available for everybody to go and read? No. Do I think that he made some horrible decisions? Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? But again, I don't want to do the whole agenda thing because it's all very mad, but there's a lot of reasons why Michael was targeted. A lot of people talk about it. It's not just me. Like, a lot of people feel the same. And I feel like since the film has come out, I've seen like heaps and heaps and heaps of support, like a lot of people that have looked into the stuff that is very much there. But again, I think if you have decided that you don't want to fuck with him because of that, absolutely. Like, that is...
The film's going to do numbers.
But
People are going to watch the film.
The film is definitely going to do numbers.
It's just not going to be critically like... Because I think initially people thought it was going to be Oscar-worthy. No, it fucking isn't.
But there was talks about it being Oscar-worthy in the beginning because of Jafar's performance and because of Coleman Domingo and stuff like that. Now that I've seen it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
There was talks, but I watched it.
And the thing is, it's like reviews play a massive part in how things do at the with the Academy Awards and stuff like that. And I think Bohemian Rhapsody, the film is made by the same people that made Bohemian Rhapsody, and that cleaned up at the Oscars. So it's very possible for biopics to do well.
I don't know if I've watched. I think Bohemian Rhapsody was one of the best performing biopics ever.
It's brilliant.
I think number one was the NW. No, what was the what are the NWA?
Straight Out of Compton.
Straight Out of Compton. That's what's made the most money.
Yeah. So Bohemian Rhapsody is up there. I think it's brilliant. I've seen it so many times.
I don't know if I've seen it.
I thought it was so good.
I feel like I've seen it on a flight somewhere.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely
Who's it based on?
Brilliant. Freddie Mercury.
Yes, I have seen it, yes.
And it's absolutely sensational. Yeah, Michael, I don't know, but they say that the film was... So it cuts at 1989, which is where when he dropped Bad. And so this is before the allegations, because the allegations came out in 93.
How many albums did he have before Bad?
Off the Wall, Thriller, and he had...
Really?
Ben.
All before 1989?
All before 1989.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I do not know much about Michael Jackson at all,
and so...
to be honest.
So the second part of the film is made, and it does cover all of that stuff. And they wanted to see how well this would do before they put it out. It is very, it is true about the NDA and stuff with Geordie Chandler, that he can't be talked about. I'm sure that there's a clever way that they can get around it. I'm not sure about the other allegations that came out in 2005, which Michael was acquitted for on all 10 counts, might I add, if they can depict that. But apparently it is made and it is in the can and it is ready to go, but they just wanted to see how well this film would do. But yeah, I just think his story's been told so many times, and the best biopic, if you actually want to get a really thorough depiction of Michael's life story, isn't it? Go and watch. No, not that one. That one is absolutely fucking terrible. Do never watch that film. Is go and watch The American Dream. It's on YouTube. It's 6 parts. It's 6 hours long. It's absolutely brilliant. And that starts off from when Joe and Catherine met, before the children were even a thing, right through up until like the 80s.
Is Joe or Catherine still alive?
Catherine is. Joe's dead. Yeah.
Were they together before he died?
Yeah. They were married. They were Jehovah's Witnesses. They were married. They had all of them kids that were all talented. Catherine's another one. She's been through that woman has
her pom pom brings life, boy.
Oh,
I think it is amazing for your pom pom to create that much talent. Please, for the love of God, pom pom,
as well,
create generational talent.
Yeah,
I'm talking to you, pom pom.
Because, mate,
I beg you.
Generational
bread and talent.
Long, but Paris doesn't like the film. She's like kind of talked down on it. Janet wanted no parts of it as well.
Also, what the fuck is Jermaine's problem? Do you know he's dating a 20-something-year-old?
Yeah, he's married to a 27-year-old.
And he's 70-something.
And they've got a kid. He's very
Ain't
unhinged.
no way that kid was produced from his dusty sperm.
Listen, it's very possible.
Surely by 71, your sperm is powder.
Nah. 71's not even old. Some of them are older. Even it wasn't Al Pacino, not Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. His missus is like 30.
Surely it comes out in powder form at that age.
And he's older, and they had a baby not long ago. It's very possible. Yeah, Mick Jagger. Yeah, a lot of these older guys. All you need is one.
And you dare be a woman at 38 that wants to have a
Yeah.
baby. You're too old.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, here we are, 71, 72,
71.
having a you.
Jermaine is raggedy.
His
and
hair
very
makes me
bald.
feel sick.
It's disgusting. It's so much. It's worse than like. It's actually that Ben Gay thing. It's so,
Yes.
but it looks solid. It looks like if you
No,
knock
that thing
it,
is rock hard.
It's like rock hard.
That thing is rock hard.
You do not need a bonnet with that. Like, you don't need
As
a bonnet.
he rises, that hair is there,
Like, it's
active.
there and
He's got
just-
so much spray and
it's
gel on
disgusting.
it.
Jermaine is very raggedy. Like
Is Jafar Jermaine's kid?
yeah, but he also remember he shares a baby mum with Randy. So Randy,
His brother?
Yeah. So Randy Jackson.
What kind of family is this?
So Randy Jackson was with this woman called Alejandra. They were together. They never got married, but they had a couple of kids. They broke up, and then like a couple of years later, Jermaine married her, and then, so they've got cousin brothers in the family. So she's got 2 kids with Randy. She's also got 2 kids with Jermaine, and they were all living together in Montesino in that house, like the Jackson compound or whatever. They were all living together, and I just think that is disgusting. Okay, and Jermaine is the raggedy one. Like he's always been just to the side, like, and that was another thing they didn't really touch on in the film. But I guess it's not about Jermaine because at one point the Jacksons were signed to Motown, but they wanted to sign another deal at another record label for more money. Jermaine refused to leave because he was married to Barry Gordy's daughter. So he felt like out of loyalty, he doesn't want to leave Motown. Like he wants to stay on Motown, and they were like, okay, cool, bye. So they left, they signed to the other label. They brought Randy in so that it was kind of like you didn't really notice.
Do you know it's so weird? Every time you say Randy Jackson, I think of that presenter guy.
The judge on
yeah,
X Factor.
that's the face. I think of X Factor judge.
He's very pulled as well,
and
by
I
the
keep
way.
having to say to myself, no, it's not him. But that's who I think about. That X Factor or Popeye, do whatever judge.
Yeah.
That's
He's
what I think of when I
incredibly
think about
stretched
Randy
as well.
Jackson.
But no, Randy's one of Michael's other brothers, and so Jermaine left, and they didn't really touch on that as well. They kind of skimmed over that in the film.
Janet Jackson is not in the film at all, is she? She's not in it at all.
But in the beginning, she would have been very young at the time, or maybe not even
Not born yet, okay,
not
fair.
even born.
Yeah.
But there's no mention of her. There's a lot of mention of LaToya, but she's one of the producers on it. So that it's the raggedy siblings.
Yeah,
that are
that
involved.
did
Do you know
it,
what I mean? Like
yeah.
you needed his. I mean, Paris, I guess she's his kid, but you weren't around for any of that. So
I think Janet should have been. I mean, maybe she wasn't
Ja-
around.
yeah.
Was his mum involved in it anyway? Right.
I assume that if they went to the premiere, that you co-signed it. But Jermaine was very much at the forefront. All the brothers were there, to be fair. All the brothers. LaToya she was quite in it, quite heavily actually. There was a lot of reference to her and Michael's relationship in the film, but it's fun. Like they picked really good songs, and it was nice to see the making of some of the albums and stuff like that. So I really love the music side of things. That's why I think Michael thrives. So to see like them depicting how instrumental he was, no pun intended, in like his creations and his passion. And they said that line where he was like, he doesn't sleep because if he does, he feels like God will give his ideas to Prince.
Yeah.
They said that line, which I thought was cute.
I think I do think that line I think is a really good way to see your ideas in a sense that like I'm also of the belief that no idea is solely yours. I know it sounds weird. In my head, ideas float around and they go into human forms, and if you don't do it, they float around somebody else's. I don't actually believe that. Oh, look at me! I did this thing. I think that like I know it sounds weird, but I just think that they were just a floating ideas, and then whoever grabs it and uses it is what uses it, and then somebody else does. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have made it before Prince did.
Exactly. So. But yeah.
I'm
gonna go see it again though.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm gonna
Okay,
go see it
cool.
again,
I want to go see the drama actually. I've been meaning to go see that.
Is
Apparently,
it at the cinema? I thought it was a TV show.
No, apparently it is brilliant. I'm really looking forward to go see it. Cinema is one of those things that I just do by myself.
Is it Zendaya's thing?
Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. And I've actually never seen Robert Pattinson in a film. I've never watched a film with him in it.
I love Twilight.
Ever.
So.
Oh, I never watched it. I was never into the Twilight trilogy or anything like
I
that.
love Twilight so much. That's the only thing I know him from. Other than that, I don't know any of his other work.
Yeah, so it'll be the
that sounds
first
good.
thing I see him, so I will go and see that. On to more things that has been talked about wide and spread on the internet, and it's only right that we add our voice and our noise to it. I was going to say friend in the show, but she's actually never been in the show. Emma Creed. Friend of East London.
Yeah.
Say East London.
If you know, you know.
That is linked in so many ways to Lana, you're gross
If
for
you
that.
know, you know.
Say... I can't believe that was a
What a
time. Imagine the pride you feel for your county, for your borough,
Here in
for
the
your
UK,
part of London. We
especially
have
in London,
pride.
we take too much pride in our postcodes.
We
where we're
don't
from.
play about.
Jesus Christ.
Say East London.
Way too much pride. Way too much pride.
So Emma Creed has got a book coming out, Start With Yourself. And it is in the world of kind of like business books and how to teach you to be a bit better businesswoman, a better woman, and it's like tips and tricks. I assume, anyway, I haven't read it, so don't let me think it, but that's what her whole thing is about. She has a podcast called Aspire to Inspire or Inspire to Aspire. It goes somehow. And it is very much like talking to people who are successful and how they got there and all of that and stuff like that. For a long time, I have never really been into business prosperity podcasts.
Yeah, me either.
Like, it's just like I will listen to an episode if it has somebody I like in it. So, for example, I've listened to the Emma Creed's episode of Issa Rae because I really like Issa Rae. So I will do that. But in terms of like to take the whole thing in, I don't really listen to people who tell me about like, and here's their morning routine and they wake up at 5 a.m. and they have a cold water plunge and then they go to the sauna. It's never, I don't know what it is. It's never really like gingered me, right? And for the longest time I used to think, oh, maybe it's because of my lack of ambition. Yeah, I was like, maybe I'm just not an ambitious person, or maybe like I'm not business minded, so maybe that's why these things don't appeal to me or whatever. And I took it on myself to be like, this is a your problem thing. You lack ambition, you're not business minded, so that's why you don't want to listen to successful people talk. And I was like, of recent, I was like, that's not true.
Yeah, it's definitely not true.
Like, I decided that I don't like those things, and I've been talking about this woman all week, and this whole, not even just her, but the whole prosperity business podcast, business talks kind of thing. And I realised that a lot of those things really jar me because I don't think it's true. What they're saying is true. Yes, hard work got you here, consistency got you here. Yeah, those things played a part of it. But what really jars me is nobody talks about what luck and circumstance did. Or if you are a Christian, what God did, what faith, like, look, let me use us, for example. The Receipts podcast is successful because we are great, we're funny, we talk well, we are consistent, we've worked really hard for this, but it is not all down to that. It is down to the timing we came out. We came out probably being one of the first in terms of like women of colour who were openly talking, who was trying to like figure out the way of storytelling. And then things happened in the world that meant we were the only place that were actually talking about it. Things like Black Lives Matter happened. All of these things that circumstantial that were completely out of our control, out of our morning routine, out of how hard we were working, they happened, and then we happened to talk about it, and that catapulted us to be like, oh, here's this space where people can talk about these things. If those things didn't happen at that right time, or if maybe we started a bit later, we wouldn't have a core audience in the kind of way that we do. We have that, which is why so often they still kind of like, hey, we need to talk about this, because we were talking about those kind of things. So it's just like, yeah, things are still happening in the world, keep talking sort of thing. So it'll be crazy for us to be like, no, and I know I'm quite hard on myself. So it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, it was all down to my hard work. But I just don't think that's true. And I think a lot of these people always tell their story in hindsight. I'm fascinated by people that were like, I always knew I'm going to make it. I always knew I was going to make it. Shitloads of people thought they were always going to make it and didn't. Many people had the aspiration, like as in like there was like, no matter what, I'm going to make it, I'm going to do it. And something happened, the market crashed. Someone did this and somehow they just didn't make it. And it wasn't out of lack of belief. And I think there's this narrative that it's belief, is what you do. And there's that quote, what you do every single day makes you who you are. Oh, like, give me a break, man. And like, I think it's that. And nobody that tells, when they talk about these, like their success on these podcasts, nobody is telling you word for word, I did this, I did this. Or they're just like, just believe in yourself. Just aspire. Just work, do all this. Here were the habits
like
every day that you make. To be like, I saw a video that was kind of critiquing, not Emma Creed, but just critiquing the whole world. And it was like, it's not the cold plunge that helps. You could wake up and dip yourself in urine every morning. If circumstances and luck meant you're going to work, it was going to work. It's not because you are plunging yourself in cold water and you're doing all of these routines that it's working. So I was like, I think that's my ick with it. It's not because I lack ambition, it's whatever. It's just because I don't think it's true. And I think it's so easy to talk in hindsight when you have made it.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. You know, when you were saying about people that say, I always knew I was going to make it, I don't think I've ever met anybody who's grinding now that says that with chest. Do you know what I mean? You don't say it in the moment when you're grinding, when you're having doors shut in your face, when you're getting loads of no's. You don't say that. You say it once you've got that big win that you're after. Do you know what I mean? So I think stuff like that is just things that people say. But yeah, I agree with you. I've never resonated towards that kind of, because I feel like there's always been like categories. There's either like and even in school, it starts young, like how we're categorized. There's the academics and there's the kind of like the sporty kids or the more creatives. And I feel like the creatives and the sporty kids were kind of like in one box, and then there's the academics. And I feel like that kind of carries us through life. So you're either like business-minded or like you're a creative, and there isn't really an intersection where you can be a little bit of both, because we're so obsessed with like labels and boxes. And I feel like that's why for me, like this sort of stuff has never resonated with me, because from young I've always known like I'm type A in a certain way, but not really. Do you know what I mean? So it was just never for me. Like, I just never saw myself being a businesswoman, because there was such strict rules on what being a businesswoman looks like. It's changed now. Like in the 90s and 2000s, you were wearing a power suit. You were taking your trainers like this, FYI. Like you would take these sort of trainers, put them in your
bag,
backpack.
and when you got to Central, you put your heels on. I used to want to be one of those women. I can't lie. I used to want to be one of those women.
And like you're one of those people
in
that
my
you're,
suits.
Yeah, in your power suit, and you're working in Canary Wharf and blah, blah, blah. And it was very regimented, and it was very much like, this is what being a business person looks like. And I just never felt like I was that person. I just always felt like I needed like freedom, and I just didn't want to be so restricted, and I didn't want to be told how to dress and how to show up and how to behave and blah, blah, blah. So it just never was my thing. It was never my bag. So I'd always just put it over there as something that's like not really for me. But I feel like now with social media, the two are becoming a little bit more intertwined. I just feel like all of that girl boss stuff, like, I feel like with Emma Grede, I think she makes some good points. Like with everybody, like I just take what I feel applies and just throw away the rest. Like, and I think that for me, like I do respect her and like how ambitious she is. I respect how like articulate she is. I respect how ballsy she is. Like I can't imagine, I can only imagine it must be hard to be in corporate spaces, being like a brown woman, like being like, she's mixed race, isn't it?
Yeah.
In these spaces, I'm sure she's overcome a lot of things. Like my thing is like, I just feel like women are just always being talked at. And that's just what winds me up. And I'm not saying that everything needs to be la-di-da and
it's never enough. Like you can never be one.
Yeah, but
always,
I feel like
enough.
Let's take the working from home thing, and she's elaborated on it like many times about what she's saying. So basically, one of her talking points in the book, again, I haven't read the book, I'm very much talking based off of clips, but clips of things that she's actually saying that have come out of her mouth. So, for example, she talks about you know, if you want these promotions and if you want these pay rises, you kind of have to be visible. Like, you have to be in proximity with the conversations. You have to, like, have relationships with these people in real time. And, like, working from home kind of creates a barrier because you're not there, you're not present. And I just feel like, I don't even think she's wrong, fair enough.
No, she's right, yeah.
I also think that, like, if you're a working mum, you probably found a sweet spot with hybrid working, with working from home, where maybe like that has really benefited you, and then now you're being told that's not good enough. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like it's just like,
no, she's absolutely right.
It's never ending. Like, as soon as it feels like something is convenient for women, then all of a sudden it feels like there is something that is taking away from that, and that feels very annoying. I don't even work in that capacity, and I feel triggered by it. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, no, that's not necessarily true. And to be fair, I've seen like loads of people being like, no, that's not true. Like, that's not been my lived experience. Like, for some women, they can't being able to work for, and again, I don't think she's shitting on people working from home. I think she's just talking about like, if you do want a really high flying career and you do want to like fly up the corporate ladder, then yeah, these are some tips that she thinks will help you get to that space. But for many women, it's just like, it's just not an option. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, maybe being in the office isn't the most comfortable situation. Like, who wants to be dealing with fucking men?
And I think that's where you have to be you take what you take and you leave what you don't, right? Because it's not going to apply to anyone. And in all honesty, as like we know, as people who talk, it is impossible to be reflective to everybody.
Yeah.
Like as in, like she's right. That there's a certain sort of corporate ambition that requires you to play the game, to go to the office drinks after, to do all of that, to, you know, yes, that's true. But what she's not considering is people that working mums or people who work from home or like, Black women who the office is actually not a safe space for them. And the truth is, she can't. And I wish I wish these women spoke like that, to be like, hey, for me, this works. I'm not saying every woman should not work from home, because once you kind of make a blanket statement like that, people are going to feel triggered to be like, well, but I can't do that. But also and as we both know, as Black women who've worked in offices, sometimes, like I literally used to be like, okay, and go in.
Yeah.
I will go home, and when I've left the office, I used to feel the release of as if I'd taken off a tight bra. So be like, oh, thank fuck for that. That day is done. And then I have to help myself up again to go do it the next day, sort of thing. So like, she's not considering that, and that's fair. She doesn't have to. It's not her story. Like, she is a biracial, slim, beautiful woman. She doesn't have to consider all of the other nuances that it is. And I think that's what people are annoyed at, is that this blanket thing, rather than like, hey, I'm aware that there's nuances, but if you're talking, I can't make everybody feel comfortable.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really important caveat. And also, like, because when we were talking about this, like, I did see so many people being like, oh, she's not talking to you, like, as if like, and it's like, I think she is talking, I'm sorry, if she's trying to sell a book.
Yes.
So if she wasn't trying to get the attention of the masses, she would be talking to very niche podcasts. She would be talking to very specific people. Like, she's everywhere. She's been on Joe Budden. She's been on Kiki Palmer. She's been on Breakfast
Sarah
Club.
J. Roberts.
So you can't tell me she's not talking to you because you don't have ambitions to be like the CEO of some Fortune 500 company. Like, I don't think that's true at all. Like, whether she is directly talking to you or not, these messages are being spread far and wide to people that, even if you don't have the intention of seeking out this information, it's coming to you. It's kind of like the Kardashians. Like, you don't want to hear about it, but you can't help it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't like that thing of like, oh, she's not talking to you, so like basically don't be affected by it or don't take it in. Like, I don't think anything she said is offensive at all. But I do think, like, yeah, there's a lot of like nuance.
But also, like, even like the idea of speaking about the Kardashians, like, I think this is why I don't like a lot of these stories, because a lot of you are not saying the full story, right? Like, you married a guy that's very, very fucking rich, and hey, I am not putting your worth on the man that you married, right? But like, having that kind of relationship helps. He knows people. I don't know where he studied at, but he was a successful businessman, right? Again, I am not putting any of her success on him. And then you put a lot of your business ideas behind a Kardashian. Of course you're going to fucking make it. They're the most famous people in the world, or one of.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? And then that's great that you had that mindset and you're from East London and you met these people, but a lot of us are not going to meet these people. Like, and I think the idea that like, stick to the truth. Like I said, like, tell the full story.
Yeah.
I worked really, really hard, but also some stars aligned for me, boy. I met this person who then introduced me to this person who then did this thing, and I'm very aware of those. And then when we had June Sarponke, June was like, yeah, I was working very hard. But it wasn't until I met this person who made sure they put my name forward for this thing that meant this thing happened. And I think those are parts of the story that people don't tell. They always make it, no, it's only because I did a cold plunge in the morning.
Yeah. And it's not just
and I'm very routine, and I do
a lot of these people that do that, and I think that people will never do that. They will never, like, even if people are like writing books or doing podcasts or whatever with the goal of trying to help people, like, no one's ever gonna, because sometimes there is no like way to hand over the formula. Do you know what I mean? But you don't even have to do that. But just by being completely, because if you're going to do it, do it. Do you know what I mean? So especially if you're going to lean on, oh, I'm coming from the angle of honesty because no one else is. Yeah. Don't pick and choose which parts you're honest about, but because also it's very confusing.
Being vague means that you can have endless podcasts for the rest of your life about this. If you're actually not vague, this ends in 5 episodes.
No, it's actually true.
Like as in, this wraps up. But if you're kind of vague and kind of sneak around it, you can go on for ages and ages and ages.
Yeah,
but my biggest thing that I find most interesting, again, this is not a critique of Emma at all. I think she's incredibly successful. I think she's incredibly ambitious. And I rate those kind of women. I rate the kind of woman that's like, yeah, I'm only a 3-hour mum, you know? And like, hey, I don't agree with it. I think it affects children in some way, but that's not up to me. That's however she wants to raise her child.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. And we're not speaking on like her children and because we've got no idea.
Yeah.
But there have been loads of people that have done videos saying that they were the children of
I think
a
it
parent
affects
like
kids.
her. And it, from what I've seen, again, there might be also like people countering that, saying that they had a really super ambitious mom that wasn't able to show up for them in the ways they needed, and they've turned out fine. I've personally just seen the opposite, and I saw a video from this woman who basically was saying that because she had a mum like that, she's decided she actually doesn't want to have children because she has been so traumatized, and like she said, her mum was amazing, but she just wasn't there, and as a child, she really felt it.
Exactly, and I think even watching it as like when you grow older, you're like, oh, this was a choice. For example, my mum worked a lot when I was younger. But I was like, oh, because she had to.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a case of then like, oh, I've made it already, but I just want to do more.
So you even appreciate,
yeah. Oh, if she didn't. And again, going back to that point as well, which is, and that's what I don't like about that, if you work hard, you make it. If you are from a working class background, you are very aware that working hard does not equate to success and money. Because our parents, my mum has worked harder than I have ever done in my whole life.
Same.
I have made more than she's ever made in her whole life. I haven't worked. My mum used to do a day shift, come back 3 to 5 to make sure we were home from school. After that, sleep for like an hour, so go back and do a night shift, and then we go again. And at the weekends, she's actually somewhere else. That woman worked hard. It did not equate to being the leader of the company. It did not equate to anything like that. So we surely are very aware that hard work is not what does it. Only.
Proximity.
Yeah, it's not only what does it. What I'm most fascinated by with Emma, and this is quite specific to her, and I would love to ask her this because I'm so fascinated with it, is a desire for fame. Because before having the podcast, having the book, she's done it. Like, we are talking here because we hope it leads us to the promised land.
Yeah,
Because it's
exactly.
like, this is my fucking route out, right? But you've built the businesses, you've done the money, that you were running, you were doing your shit. Once you've done that and you've actually earned, like we were saying, generational bread, why do you want to be famous? Why are you talking on a podcast?
Literally.
Why are you why are you doing a get ready with me? I think like, what is a desire to be seen with it? And I tried to rationalize that, or maybe it's so you can inspire people. I don't know if that's true.
Well, that's what she says. She says
I don't know
that
if I
she
believe
just feels like she wants to help people. Like she
No,
wants
because
to
if then
impart
that's the
this
truth, then you
knowledge.
can't say Emma's not talking to you. Because the thing
exactly,
is, if you want to inspire, you want to inspire all women, because you can stay inspiring the women who you are talking to, because you see them every day.
And also, those women don't need inspiring. So everyone
They're
that's like...
already doing it.
Because they're already doing it. They already have the tools and the knowledge and the access. So that's why I was saying I don't believe that like this information isn't... sorry, excuse me. Isn't for everybody else, and everybody else is just like catching the straight end of it. Yeah, I find it very interesting, but fame... And
I don't
rich,
understand
That's why they're
it.
two separate words, rich and famous. They are not the same. They are not one of the same. They are not synonymous with one another. They're two different
Someone once
levels
said,
of access.
do you know what's better than being rich and famous? Rich.
Yeah, that's all.
Just being
Yeah.
and you don't have to talk, you don't have to deal with two fucking random girls in London talking about you.
Yeah.
And like talking about, oh, Emma.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares what Tolly Teague thinks
Now
thinks
you
about
know.
Emma Creed?
You're gonna get this opinion, child.
Like I said, the money that she has, who the fuck cares? You poor bitch.
Yeah.
Just keep my name out of your mouth.
Yeah. No, but it's really, really interesting. As you were saying, yeah, because obviously we came into this talking, doing it because we love it and all the rest of it, and the goal is to amass the wealth. Do you know what I mean? So the other way round is
Audrey,
alien
if
to
I
me.
had done it in my mind and I was making money and I was talk to who?
Yeah, but you know what it
I
is?
barely talk to my family.
I feel like sometimes,
Kidding.
yeah, like she's worth all this money because the street says she's worth between $390 and $400 million. That is a lot of money.
Audrey, if I was worth 20 million, I'm not
exactly. But
maybe 1.5 million. I'm like, I'm good.
do you know what I mean? But it's like I think when you get to that level of wealth, yeah, a millionaire is always trying to be a billionaire. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we say that because it seems so far-fetched. It's not in Jesus' name, but it feels so far away. When you have it, you're aiming for the next thing. So maybe she feels like in order to get to the next stage,
There has to be this
there
thing.
has to be something.
Okay, so then stick to the truth then. Then say my ambition is I want to now be famous because it gets me more money. Don't say I want to inspire people.
No, but I think what you were saying earlier about kind of like dropping crumbs, like crumbing us, is because like later on, like if she says everything now, then what is there to sell later?
To say,
Do you know what I mean? Later on, now that you've done this and we've talked about working from home, we've talked about like how you balance, like work-life balance and all the rest of it. Maybe the next phase of this journey will be my relationship with the Kardashians, and you know, so it's just like kind of just like trying to stretch it out for as long as possible.
I was talking like we're talking about it in a group chat, and a friend was just like, it's literally like, you know, when you get drug dealers who want to be rappers, because like you're making money from your drugs, but they still love that drug dealers are getting.
But even
the
that,
rappers are getting, sorry.
Even with that example, they want a legitimate avenue. Like people that are making money through illegal means, they want to lean into something.
I don't think that's what it is.
Maybe not
because a lot of these rappers are still going to jail for still drug dealing. I think
true.
they just want the.
I find that so mental.
I think people see famous people and they desire to be like, oh, they're deemed as cool. People rate them or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what? Yeah, money doesn't equal access. You know, like so. For example,
exactly.
Like there could be a PA. That PA, if you're looking after someone very famous, you might actually have more access than a billionaire.
Yeah.
So
you can. So there are certain rooms you can't pay yourself into.
Exactly.
You might have all of the money, but fame will get you into that room.
But fame will get you into those rooms. So it's just like, yes, you might have all the money in the world, but if that face isn't recognisable...
By the way, I like Emma. I follow her. In fact, I just saw a clip of her the other day, and it's a great example of what you're saying in terms that like fame will get you more access because she's now on the Oprah. She was doing a video about how excited she was when she's getting interviewed by Oprah. All the money she had in the world wouldn't have been able to pay for an Oprah feature, but the fame will pay for an Oprah feature. But like, I think the desire for fame always amazes me because I'm like, it's not fun.
I don't think it's fame. I think it's access. I really think it's access to certain spaces because you're going to be on certain red carpets. You're going to be invited to the Vanity Fair party now. You're going to be invited here.
If you have money, you can go like to like nice
Not
places.
because the Met Gala, they pay for that.
Yeah, like
there's people that pay.
Do you know what like no-name millionaires are going? Like they're having a very lovely life. And again, Tolly fucking T is not talking about what she thinks about them.
No, it's actually mental.
Shut up.
Even on a much lower scale, because even some of these fucking housewives, and there's always a social element when it comes to these housewives. I'll always say it is the biggest social experiment of human behaviour ever. A lot of them come from wealth. A lot of them, like, they don't come from wealth necessarily, but they have money, right? Money. Whether they've got money through illicit ways, whatever, they've got money, they're living lifestyles. So I don't understand why you know that your husband's doing fraud, you know that your husband is stealing from his company or whatever. Why are you now seeking fame?
I will never understand that
cameras
thing.
in your house and putting a microscope on your life that nobody, you could have
When I know the truth about my life, there is no way I'm putting my, like I said, you guys don't, it's okay. We are going under the radar. No one knows that we're banging forward.
Exactly. You're living your life. You're taking your private jet. You're going to, the most beautiful islands in the world. But you must be seen. You must be famous.
I think we underestimate social currency. There is a very big social currency to be linked with this person, to be seen here, to be photographed here, to be at this event, to be on Housewives, to be friends with these people. There is I'm currently watching Palm Springs on Netflix, like absolute
Which is
bullshit.
I can't believe you're watching
I can't believe I'm watching it either. Do you know what it is? I had a long list of things to do.
Damn, everyone needs a bit of light TV sometimes.
Yeah, and I just needed something in the background that I just wasn't, and I finished in the middle. I needed something else. It's just trash. And it's so trash, but there's parts of it where they are, and they're the weirdest women ever. I didn't know people like this existed. They're bragging about knowing Donald Trump in this economy.
No, but do you know what, there is something going on with TV. They're trying to magify.
I was so confused. They were like, because it was a bragging to see if he's a good person to know. I was like, Donald Trump.
They're trying to normalize maggots. Like, they really are. Like, it's everywhere now. Love is Blind. I watch Married at First Sight Australia. There are two people that are openly saying that they fuck with Donald Trump in this economy. Like,
I'm so confused.
They did it on Love is Blind as well. People are openly admitting that they're maggots.
Donald?
Yeah. There's definitely something about the right wingification of television that is happening. Like, they're trying to normalize it. So that doesn't even shock me. I see it all the time now, especially on reality TV. But people are gagging to be famous. I don't know, maybe because we did it the other way around. So I don't know, but I feel like I do not have that desire, like to be able to live a private life and have no one talking shit about you.
I think it's the option to be like well off, be very comfortable living your life, and you could just go about. God, I will just go.
But maybe if I was born into wealth or amassed a mad amount of wealth, maybe the desire would.
But also, we're at a crap bit. We're not rich.
Yeah.
We're not famous either. We're just like this,
we're just like in the
locally
middle,
visible.
Like, just like hood celebrities, man.
Locally visible and still shopping in Primark.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't
Listen,
even.
I need to get to the one level up and I'll be sweet. But
I was complaining about £200 food shop.
yeah,
Which is
that's a lot of
fucking
money.
ridiculous. 277.
So I'm sure you didn't get a lot of
I
things out of
didn't.
it. Yeah, that's the thing.
And that was
that's so
after club
scary.
card points. So I just, it's time to start stealing.
Yeah, no, make theft great again because what the
Apparently,
hell?
there's a bunch of people who steal, but they steal food for like the homeless and food banks.
Oh, like
they're
Robin
older
Hood.
women.
That's
Yeah.
really
I want to
sweet.
join their gang.
Same, that's a gang.
Actually, no,
I
it's
wanna
too
be a
risky
part
for
of.
me.
What
I want, I'm black.
Oh yeah, girl, sorry, I forgot.
What I want to do is be the head of, I want to get a bunch of old people together. So I will recruit them. Bear in my area, I just chat to them. I help. There's one that I actually help. I just help over a food shop. I have not seen her in a while.
I hope she's okay, man.
Oh yeah, I need to go check in. You know how I feel about old people.
Yeah, you love them.
I love them off. I love old people.
Yeah, no, old people are the best.
I just love them off. I just like, yeah, man, get to that age where I say what I want to do, what I want, because I've lived like,
Exactly.
and I
You can't
do
tell me
think
shit.
there should be respect put on your name for living. I mean, I say
100%.
that, but I don't think all of them require respect, because I think we have to understand that dumb people grow old as well.
This is
like,
very true.
Getting older is not a privilege to just smart, intelligent people.
No, it really
like
isn't.
very big fucking idiots also get old. I don't think they all require respect, but I do think there is a cockiness they should walk around in to be like, I've been here for 90 years. I do what I like.
Are you mad? 90?
It's crazy.
Yeah, 80.
Do you know it's just going to be 250 years of America?
Yeah, it's not that young. It's not
I
that
thought
old.
it was a lot
they
older.
act like they've been around since the beginning of the fucking
and
time.
also the evil they've caused
Exactly,
to
for
just
such
be
a
around
short-
for 250.
for a short stint.
Because I just thought a 90-year-old
Yeah.
is already been. It's like America has not been around for that long for the evil they've caused in the world.
They've really done a lot considering.
Wow.
Considering.
Go
they
you
are young.
ambitious bunch of people.
But then they try and act as if everybody else is like raggedy.
Nah, America's
Like, we're older than you. Like, put some respect on our continent.
How old is England? How old is England? The UK, Britain.
I mean, like,
Old, didn't it?
like hundreds of thousands. You know,
Yeah.
The building's 1,000 years old in London.
That's what I mean. This is. I think this is why they're winning, because all of that American dream stuff is there. Us fucking meek, humble people.
Yeah.
That's why. Maybe
All of that
Emma's right.
bravado.
If we did work from home and did cold plunges every morning, maybe we fucking would be done more
Well, they
in
obviously
the
don't
years that we've been
yeah,
around.
they didn't believe in working from home because they sailed the shores and went around everywhere else. They didn't stay on their own
They
land.
went far from
Yeah,
home.
exactly.
They went and stole far from
Exactly.
home. But anyway, my business plan is that I want to recruit a bunch of like older women, right? Really innocent, lovely looking ones. Ideally ones that wear floral dresses, ones a bit of a haunchback.
A bit of a trolley.
Yeah, a bit of a
Little
haunchback.
trolley.
I don't really want them. I think at least 3 of them to be haunched. I think maybe only 2 to be able to stand up straight. And even at their straight, they're still quite short.
Yeah, okay, I hear you.
And they said, "Oh, darling," and I want one of them to have a tinge of racism. Just make it exciting. And she just throws things in me like that, but I'm like, take it, because I'm like, do you know what? She's getting the money
She's
in.
getting- yeah.
And what I want to train them in doing is stealing. Do you remember back in the days where we used to get the half price guy? Now we have the half price grannies.
Ooh, half price grannies.
So they
HPG.
steal stuff, and then we sell it half price to the people.
That's a good idea because no one's going to really suspect
No one.
them.
And then even if they get caught, dementia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
No,
d-
that's not a bad
I
plan.
just say, oh my God, she forgot.
Yeah.
She just forgot
She
to
forgot
pay.
you had to pay.
For fuck's sake, leave her alone.
That's not a bad plan.
And if I just plant them in different like areas and boroughs, and we start here, we do a. This is how
You
the
can
East
have
London
like a-
heist
yeah, you
started.
can have a
Men
head
were
office.
working. Now I have to take it upon myself. This is what Emma said
have
when she
a
said,
he-
"Be ambitious."
Head office somewhere and you link up
Yeah.
once a month, have a, you know.
And it will be like
community
the head
meeting.
office will be inconspicuous. So it would just be like an old places where there would be. So do you know what I mean? I'm not going to take him to somewhere that looks a bit crazy. We'll just like chill at the old people's home,
Yeah.
chat for a bit.
I'm not mad at that. So long as
Thanks.
it's to help other people, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need it because we're going downhill and fast.
Like when I see people steal baby food, yeah, they should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you people that snitch, you're so fucking raggedy.
So weird.
Like, that is an insane thing to do. I just think it's wild that they actually put baby formula behind the till with the cigarettes and the
or
medication.
even the ones who like lock them up.
Yeah,
America is the
actually-
worst one.
no,
Like,
they actually lock it up,
America
yeah.
lock up toothpaste. Actually, to be fair, they're charging $9 for it.
Yeah. My God.
So does America not have a Savers?
They have, isn't Target like the equivalent?
I
kind of?
don't buy toothpaste that's more than £1,
No,
which means
why?
I'm buying toothpaste every time it's on a deal. There's certain things I only buy on deal, and toothpaste is one of them. When it's on a deal, I'll buy it, and it'll be £1.
There's no real need to spend well, I mean, obviously it is an important thing 'cause it's your teeth, but yeah, same. Like you can get decent toothpaste, like name brand toothpaste
Yeah.
for £1.50.
One of the things I'm cheap about is like, because I'm like, why would I?
Because to me it's all just branded. It all does the same shit, unless you need Sensodyne, because I had to get Sensodyne, which is a little bit more pricey.
Yeah, I had to get Sensodyne mouthwash the other day because the gums are.
And what's it called? The mouthwash, I forgot what it's called, but it's really good. But yeah,
not an ad. I do use the smoker's toothpaste and I think it's great. That Euthymol.
I've got Euthymol in my house as well. I think it's really, really good.
It's just good. Yeah. I can still taste it in my mouth now. To be very honest, that is for the smokers.
No, one time, just going back to the working from home thing. What's his name? Alan Sugar had the fucking audacity to be doing a piece with the BBC or whatever, talking about why working from home is bad whilst working from home.
Dickhead.
I'll never forget that.
Where is Alan? I feel like I've not heard from Alan Sugar in a while.
Where is he? Well, The Apprentice is still on, yeah.
Is he still like hosting thing of it? Interesting.
He's always having to be, so he's always at home.
So he works
so
from
it's
home, the fucking
from
audacity.
home. Is that other woman still there?
Karen Brady, yeah.
Not Brenda.
No, she's lost so much weight. Yeah, she is.
She's on the pick.
She's on the pick, yeah.
She's on the pick. Everybody is on the fucking pick. What else is happening in the world that we'd like to talk about?
So, do you know who MJ Gray is?
Michael Jackson Gray?
No, I wish.
No, I
Is that her
don't.
name? Yeah, I think her name's MJ Gray. Basically, she is this content creator, yeah. She's mainly big on TikTok, but she's a massive following by talking about how she basically hates men, she hates marriage, she thinks marriage is slavery, she thinks that, women should never get married, how she'd never get married. Come to find out, our good sis is getting engaged. I had never heard of this girl till I saw
Getting engaged or is engaged?
She's engaged. So I had never heard of her until I saw people absolutely dragging her for filth, basically calling her a hypocrite, calling her all sorts, yeah. But I don't even think that the issue with her is necessarily the fact that she's getting married. It's the fact that, like, her response video to it, when she actually addressed it, she basically was like, well, you dumb bitches should have applied the sermon. She was like, well, at the end of the day, let this be a lesson to you. And I'm not saying this is not verbatim, I'm paraphrasing. But she was like, well, at the end of the day, you should let it be a lesson to you to apply discernment, because people have the right to do what they want to do with it.
You're lying.
And the thing is, she's not technically wrong, but
she's not wrong.
God.
But if you're preaching, look,
No,
you're allowed to change your mind. You can be like, hey, I really believe this thing. I've met someone that's made me change my mind, and that's made that many people are like, I never want to have children. Then meet someone and like, actually, no, I'd have it with you. I never wanted to do this. Look, I don't believe in it can never be me. And if you have been here a while, I was a firm believer in it can never be me, boy. And then you grow up and life shows you, not only can it will be, and it shall be.
And it shall. Do you know what I'm against? And I think we need to ban people talking about their dating preferences online, full stop. Like, because the thing is, there are content creators that are like her, but they're married, or there are people that refuse. They'll talk about, like, they have talking points on these things, but they refuse to actually address their
I just want people
status.
to be like, for me, like, rather than like, I don't think women should marry. As a woman, I choose not to. I think if you personalise things, then people are less offended. Because if her, I don't know who she is, but I don't know if this is her thingy. But if the thing is like, as a woman, I'm advising you not to do this. And some people speak very much like that. Women don't do this. Blah 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 blah. If that's how you're talking, people are going to critique you like, but you told us. But also, good for you people, because who the fuck is she to you?
Exactly.
Is she your God?
She was definitely speaking in absolutes, and I think that's why she's caused such an uproar, because it's just like. But I also think that her response video did not do her any
That
favors,
is hilarious.
because the way she was anti-marriage,
dum-dums.
and now on top, to add smoke to the fire, she is rebranding as a luxury content creator now that she's found a fucking rich man. And I'm just like,
I don't blame the girlies that are doing this. It's because it's the audience's fault. It's the audience's fault, man. It's the audience's fault, because
you have to take these things with a pinch of salt. Like, but she definitely was speaking in absolutes. But I just think that to allow someone to dictate the decisions you make, mind you, someone that you don't know from a can of paint. I know we have parasocial relationships and all the rest of it, but ultimately you don't know this person. Like, and we say it all the time, like, what people are giving for content may not be true to how they're living their actual life. Do you know what I mean? But again, you have to believe in your own source. Like, you cannot, like,
I would hate to
replicate
think there is
someone's
somebody
life.
in the world who is like, watches this kind of content, whatever, and then in real life they meet a lovely man like who does everything, and they say,
It's
"Nope,
happening.
I'm not going to marry him because Susie online told
It's
me not to." There is no
It's
way.
absolutely happening. I guarantee you. Like the way that people are infatuated with some of these creators,
No way.
and these like communities that these people are. I'm not saying they're all grifters. I think two things can be true. Like you can make a living off of it, and sometimes you can truly believe what you're saying, and then life happens and shit happens. Blah blah blah. I just think it's very important, like you said, to always add that nuance, or remove the personal element completely. If you want to talk about the facts of like marriage and divorce rates and like what men are doing, I don't actually think you have to personalize it. I feel like once you start personalizing it, that's when people start thinking they can hold you to account, because people do, if they're really invested in you and your content, they may, like we've always had, it's just changed. Like people have always like idolized people. People have always been fans of people. Now it's just so far spread
But
now.
to like live according to their preachings.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I can, okay, cool, I agree with you, that's cool for you. But in my life, if I meet someone lovely, I'm going to do what I want to do, because who the fuck are you to me?
But I think that people that are consuming that content so intensely, it's going to just live in your subconscious. Do you know what I mean? So you can meet this person and he can be amazing, but then you've got whoever is in the back of your head just being like, remember, this is how it starts. He's love bombing you. Like, I can imagine, I'm not that way inclined. I take it and keep it moving. But like, if you're really invested in it, I can imagine like you're hearing these voices that are actually stopping you from living your life. Do you know what I mean? And like, you're thinking, no, actually the right thing to do is to, we're not getting married. We're not doing this. We're not meeting anybody, blah, blah, blah. And I just, I find it mad, but people really do live and die by this stuff. And her people are mad. They're big mad. Like there have been people that have been like, I was going to get married and I didn't want. Like literally, there are people that are like that. I'm just like, that is insane. That is insane. You've just got to take this stuff with a pinch
From a
of salt.
person you have never met.
A
Hey,
person
be entertained by people. Be like, oh, I agree, I don't agree. But for me to live my life according to your ruling is, you are not God.
No, you're
And these
not
people
God.
will swear up and down they're against religion and
Exactly,
religious
but-
people are stupid.
exactly, but
But
they've
you
got
are
their own-
listening to
yeah, they've got their own
This is how
forms,
cults start.
Yeah, low key.
Because then,
Low key.
what do you mean you are listening to somebody random on the internet tell you how to live your life and you're actually practicing your life like that? Don't be weird.
No, but the audacity to turn around and be like, well, life is nuanced. And
You should never listen to me in the first place.
You should have applied discernment. That I think that is an insult to the people that have supported you and given you a platform. But at the same time, you cannot take these things at face value completely. Like I find it mad. But they're absolutely dragging her. They are dragging her, and they're like, oh well, deep down, like. I do think that people that make that kind of content, their whole thing is like decentering men and not being like, what's the word? Not male-centered. But then if all you're talking about men is you are still male-centered. I
just want everyone to know we are so far from it. And like there is different versions of this all the time. And I think the newest version of it is, and which is why I say this is the audience's fault, right? There is talking about social currency and respect for currency and whatever. There is a currency in being married to a man. I'm not even going to say married to a man. Because rarely do I see women who have married each other become like, big life coaches, because like rarely do I see women married to women get the credit that a woman that's married to a man gets. Women who are married to, and then you, like, let's say you've been successful in your work or whatever, and then you get, your currency has shut the fuck up. Because now you are credible in everything you say. You can say whatever and people will believe you and listen to you because you have done it all. You are pretty, you've made a good career, and a man chose you and married you.
Yeah, you're like the whole package.
You are a woman.
Women pro.
Woman you are
premium.
literally
Woman
woman
premium.
14 Pro, 16 plus, whatever the newest iPod, 16 plus Pro. Because it's like now you're the all-knowing because you figured it out. And until people stop placing women because of this solely on that hierarchy, it's always going to be a status. It's a status thing. And we've just repackaged what all of the women, our aunties and our mums used to do. We've just repackaged it.
Yeah, we just put a bow on it. But
You have all turned into the aunties and the mummies that you've hated. You just repackaged it now.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Men are the prize. When I say this, you guys are they are the prize. Women are doing heinous, insane things to keep a man because of a man. What happened in the news this week or last week? was set
I know, insane. It's just, it's actually very scary. This is what I don't think that we should be talking about our dating preferences online. I want all of that eradicated because I think it is the root cause of so many issues, whether it's like men talking about what they prefer and, you know, feeding into the beauty standards, whether it's about, you know, creating this competition between women and all of this shit. Like, everyone just have your preferences in silence. Like, stop coming online and telling us about that stuff because I just think it's so toxic and it's just creating so many more unnecessary problems than we need. That nothing good has ever come from people like talking about their dating preferences online. Like, literally nothing, apart from it feeding into the patriarchy and feeding into this idea that, ultimately men are the prize. And if you think that they are not tapped into these conversations, you are delusional. I think it just makes the standards so much lower when even us as women, like we're not us, but like women are guilty of it as well. Like, coming online and basically telling people all a man needs to be able to do is provide. I think that is so lame because if you think that they're not tapped into it and they're not going to like mold themselves into this person and come and give you the bare minimum, like, it is just,
Do you want to do a really annoying podcast, do you think? And be like, we should talk about the Dami interview, but let's just leave that for Patreon.
Oh yeah, I love doing that. I have no issues with doing that. Like, zero. Like, absolutely, we're going to say
Dami Hope went on the We Need to Talk podcast, but you can find out our thoughts on that on Patreon.
If you want to know, you can sign up.
I need money. Me too, I want to get McLeod. Please, give me a break. I'm an ambitious woman. What else is that? Oh, did you want to talk about those two girls, the fight?
Yeah, we can talk about it. And then I've got like some tea, but we'll talk about that on Patreon.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, it's really sad.
Sorry, speaking on tea, Audrey has like been delivering me
pouring,
the freshest cups of tea.
Hot.
Like as if they were made fresh. Did you know when like tea originated in India, right? Yes. The original, like not even this English breakfast tea we speak of. No, we're talking about the one that is poured like this. When you go to Morocco and they pour it up and down like this. Yes, she's been delivering that kind of tea. Not even a tea bag tea. I'm talking about tea leaves.
Yeah, leaves.
Piping fucking hot. And I will tell you one thing about Audrey. That is her ministry, bro.
Oh, it really is. I see it as a form of journalism.
She like, no, that's what I was going to say. She delivers it like a news anchor. Like, she will give her like, you wait for what's to come before she starts telling you what's to come.
So literally yesterday, I was sending Tolly tea, and I was literally, it was like I am a podcaster, because it was like a clip.
No, literally.
So I sent a little 15-second.
No, first she types like, oh my God, I've got so much tea, right?
Yeah.
And then she said, 15 seconds, I was like, so much tea can't be in 15 seconds. So I listened to it, and it was like a prelude to the tea. She was like, you wait to hear. I think she said, hope you're ready.
Yeah, I said, buckle up.
He said, buckle up.
Do you know what? I was getting it in 4K in real time. And so I was like, oh my God, tea. And Tolly wasn't online. I was like, and I was so close to being like, wake up in capitals, but we were just talking. And then she went away for like half an hour. I was like, why are you not online? And so then I sent a little prelude and I was just like, no, you will not believe the tea. I hope you're sitting down. Buckle up.
Buckle up.
But then I'm not a dickhead who does that and then goes away.
No. She does it incredibly
I do that
before,
and then I was sending the follow-up with all of the information and then that was like 2 minutes and 50 seconds long.
Yes.
But yeah, I see it as a form of journalism. I see it as my journalistic skills in showbiz and entertainment. That's what I
love it.
I do. That's what I was born to do.
I absolutely love it. But these girls, you're also the one that told me about this because I didn't know about this initially.
Yeah. So it's just a bit mad. So as it stands, I don't actually know what has happened with the victim. I believe her name's Claudia. There's been so much speculation about whether she passed, and then other people are saying it's not true. And do you know what? Yeah, bad like clout chasing friends, because it was like some best friend of hers that had put out something about her dying. So then a lot of people had like run with that narrative that she had died, and people were like talking about it like all over social media and on the news and everywhere, saying that she'd passed because of this particular friend.
Oh, right, okay.
And then the parents put out something basically saying like, please pray for her. Like she's in a critical condition. She's on a life support machine, but there's still hope. So then it turned out that she actually hadn't died.
Right, okay.
And then the raggedy friend had to come back, and the world we live in is actually mental.
That can't be her best friend, but okay.
No, she did a story basically being like, oh, by the way, I'm not actually her best friend. Like, we're not that close. And I'm just like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you
Social currency.
Why are you doing this? Like, I just find it so vulgar.
It's people trying to make business of
And
somebody else's thing.
abhorrent.
It's so gross. It's got nothing to do with you.
Disgusting. Like, even if, God forbid, that was one of my super close friends, I promise you, I'm not even thinking about how I'm going to address announce it to the world and give people updates. Like, that is anyway, whatever. So she's by the by, irrelevant. So it was, as it currently stands, as we are reporting this, I don't know whether she's passed or not. So we'll premise it with that. But yeah, there was a fight that had broken out in Inca nightclub, and one of the girls ran over another because we don't actually know. Some people are saying it's because they were fighting over a man. Other people are saying it was because of an unfollow, which is even scarier. I think it's probably all of the things. Like,
whatever the reason is, it's not enough.
Whatever,
for this.
there's no reason. There's literally
like,
no.
As in, there's actually
justification.
nothing that could happen that could warrant this.
Yeah, there's no justification. But the perpetrator, whatever it is they were fighting about, they were at the same club. I don't know whether she was already there, they were in the same spot, or whether some people are saying that she came because she knew the girl was there and she came to fight, and other people are saying that they were both at the same party together. There's so many different stories going around. All I know is that, and I'm sure we've all seen the videos, willingly or unwillingly, is that she was mulled over by an SUV several times. It felt and looked very intentional. And as it stands, the victim is...
So two girls were fighting. We don't know whatever the reason their thingy was. And one of them got so angry, she went into a car and ran over the other girl that she was fighting and then reversed back against her, which is crazy to me. And if you've been here a while, you know that's why I hate Suge Knight. That's why I think Suge Knight is a monster, because I think to be able to do that kind of thing is monstrous. Now, I think rage is one of the most dangerous things. Not anger, rage. Like, as in human behavior, I think it is something that you should actually pray against. You should actually pray that God takes away this temperament of rage away from your body. And I say that because it's like, hey, people have had arguments in the club. Yeah, fuck you. Everybody goes home. People draw you apart at most, fisticles at most.
There was a fight beforehand though. So so there was a fight. So the girl,
the same two girls.
Yeah. So, but her other friends. So again, there's so many different stories going around that saying that the perpetrator was attacked by the girl and her friend. She was jumped. And then there's some people are saying that they've had this this ongoing beef for ages. Apparently, the perpetrator had her house robbed. There was loads of things that she pulled up with guys, but there was a fight beforehand, and you see the fight before the car situation. Yeah. So the girl, the victim, and her friends had jumped her. They were rushing her, and then the story that people are saying is that she got into her car. She tried to drive off. Or she didn't try to drive off. Some people are saying she tried to drive off. Some people are saying that no, she got into her car to cause this accident, to cause this situation. So so there was fisticles, and then it's just elevated and elevated. Yeah,
because you would think that you're angry, whatever, you've got into a fight, surely that gets rid of whatever. Because some things happen that you could be feeling, and then you get sobered. Like, as in, like, so your eyes clear, you're like, what the fuck am I? But for it to be after you've run that over, that's when the sobering comes, is crazy.
I can't even imagine.
Like that, like, as in, by the time you're like, I'm vexed. By the time I get into my car, a level of my rage should have...
Because you've got to do a lot of things before you actually drive. You don't get into a car and it just starts moving. Do you know what I mean? So there's
you'll be
time.
hoping that there's time that your rage will be like, come on, be for real. Because like this is nothing to do with this, but everyone thinking about a very stupid situation of getting in your car, being angry, you're trying to pull your seatbelt, and this seatbelt kind of like, well, calm down. It's not until you pull me softly.
It messes up your flow of like trying to be this cool angry person.
And it's not until you pull it softly, like, okay, cool, and then you do it, and then it calms down sort of it. Obviously, this girl did not do any of that, and the rage that filled her just made her do this. It's crazy. And I think CZ posted her tweet about it. Yeah. And she'd said something, which I was like, there were points here. And she'd mentioned this idea that like, we've kind of normalized, like, it's on site, I'm going to fight, which is really like weird and interesting. But also, which I thought was an interesting point of the performance in people comes up. When you are fighting with someone and you see everybody's filming you, I can imagine you're like, no, whatever video goes online, I must be the winner.
Well, and that's another element that we haven't even gotten to yet. This idea of like,
filming.
It is insane because like the video is so disgusting, and I get that there were things that pre-led to that situation. And I think that we live in that society now. We live in a social media society. We have our phones. We live behind a camera. Like, that is just how we exist. But like most people anyway. And so I really hope to God that people that captured it, it's because they just saw some girls tussling and they thought it was funny. But at that point, someone should have said cut. At the point
there
should be no footage
of
the situation in which after she's got into her car and she's going back and forth over this girl's lifeless body.
Fuck.
That video should not exist, because at that point you should have dropped your phone and everybody should be all hands on. Like, if you're going to fucking stand there, you better be making yourself useful.
Otherwise,
Like,
run away. Because I'll run away.
I'll be honest. I would have cut before.
I'll be very honest. I've been out very many a times, and the fight comes. I'm not watching this. Like I said, like, as soon as I see, yeah, let's look. Because I'm very aware of those things. Get a thing where someone gets caught in the white.
Always.
Even if it's like before it kicks off, you like this thing is going to kick off.
Sometimes you feel the energy.
I definitely feel the energy of it, especially between men.
You feel
in
the
clubs
energy.
when it's going to kick off. I don't know what it is. Whether it's raving in London that's trained you that thing. Yep. But you can sense to be like, I'll be like, girls, I think we should head off.
Just move.
Move. When I see a bottle dash across the room, we're
it's
leaving.
Time to go.
Like, we are not staying around to film anything, because that's when you now be caught in the crossfire.
Exactly.
There have been times you were trying to get out of a club and someone's falling over.
And it's only by luck
that's how a
that you haven't been
stampede
stumbled on, because people have died from that.
Yes.
People have died from being trampled on, trying to exit clubs and all the rest of it, because people wanted to be in the mix. And it's not what it's, for me, it's absolutely not worth it.
Anytime I've ever seen that I was going to kick off, they're going to, it's time for me to go home.
So the fact that people could, again, I can get my head around, you've seen girls fighting, it's all very sloppy, like body parts are flying around, whatever. I can understand that. But from when she got in her car and you saw her phone should have dropped, like, we shouldn't have that footage. And the fact that there's several angles, like you see this whole thing from beginning to end in several angles, means that people just had absolutely no empathy. I'm not saying that you could have like pre-seen that she was going to do that, but I just find that insane.
I mean, all blame goes to the girl who did this one.
Absolutely. Absolutely, of course.
She needs to be taken, like, that level of rage
she needs to go under the jail, because it's just insane that you would.
And also, I really pray, like, there was no reason good enough, but my God, if this is over, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is, like some of the people that don't know them that are all talking, by the way, making videos and doing all sorts. And some people are low-key defending the perpetrator, or not defending it, because I think that it's indefensible, but they're trying to find justifications for. They haven't
made the man worth even physically fighting for. They haven't made him yet.
No, he's
maybe
not
he might come, man, ex-bro. But they have not. Because if you put me in a situation where I'm fighting, you fucked up. Like, if you actually put me in, if a good man has put me in a situation where I'm fighting another girl, that's weird, because you've done something. Because otherwise, why would I be fighting another girl because of you?
Exactly. And it's just completely misplaced anger. 90% of things that go on is misplaced anger. And it's like, I guarantee you, if there's truth to the man element of it, he's going to move on. They always do.
Oh my God.
And do you know what's so insane?
He's moved on.
Because there's so many like people that are like, talking about men protecting women, and like, how comes the man then was standing around and filming, which I think, why would anybody stand around? But do you know what's mad? Girls have intervened in guy fights.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but honestly, we laugh at the girls that are like, no, that's Tyrone, I know him.
Yeah.
But
get off him! No,
exactly.
Stop.
But those girls have actually got fucking bigger balls than the man that was standing around filming.
I've been that girl, like a big dickhead.
Like, sometimes girls have got bigger balls than the guys, because they were not trying. The ones that were filming, anyway, I don't know if there were men that were trying to intervene, but the ones that were filming, they had absolutely no intentions of trying to help. Like, you were trying to get the footage so that you could go viral and do whatever. Off the
topic of this, though, but have you ever seen them, like, maybe it doesn't happen as much now on the topic, but no, do you know the men that were like trying to help, but they're trying to grab a boob at the
yeah. It's like, why are you holding her there? Why are you holding her on her nipple?
You fucking weirdo.
They always do that.
Yeah,
you can hold her waist. Like, you can absolutely hold her waist.
Like, was trying to grab you with your breast. Why is your hand like this on my tit?
Yeah, cop a cheeky feel. Yeah, they do absolutely do that. Any excuse to like assault someone, they'll do it.
Oh my God, going in the middle. Guys, stop. No,
don't. No, it's all right. I know him.
Babe, calm down.
Yeah, like, literally.
Babe, just calm down.
They've got more energy.
Hoping that is that they won't hit you.
Yeah.
So your hope is that, like, okay, they're not going to hit me, but I've mistakenly been shot in the face by that, because he wasn't aiming for me.
Yeah, but
because
got hit in the
my dickhead,
crossfire.
I was like,
I got hit in the crossfire. But no, do you know what? We cuss those girls, but shout out those girls. When I see videos of men doing absolutely nothing, like that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, nah, but there's girls that have actually tried to do some shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, no, it's wild. And so many guys have like been like, nah, it's actually disgusting. Like even if you see two girls fighting, as a man, like you guys are always saying that you're inherently stronger or whatever, this is now the time to apply that strength and just be like, separate them, because you can separate two girls.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very sad. I hope she pulls through. Like I really, really
Yeah,
hope
I hope the girl was okay. And the girl that did this, honey, under the jail.
Under the jail, because yeah, it's just, there's no excuse.
I always think when people do these kind of crimes, when they're sat alone, what goes through their mind?
What are you thinking?
Like after the fact, because that must make you want to die.
If you're anything other than remorseful, then that means that your body is so permeated with hate for that person. Because if you're still sitting there thinking, yeah, well, boy, I'll go to jail for this cause, like I hate you that much, then boy. But she'd been posting things about her mental health and stuff. She's not okay. She's not okay. Like she'd even that day posted on Snap talking about like, don't trouble mad people, because when you end up in the hospital, I'll be
Do you know
right
what?
there with
Fights
you
are
or
actually
something.
not worth it, because some people have got less to lose than you.
Exactly.
Like you, even if you can physically beat them up, they're like, oh, is it? Cool.
And also just the fact that it
Some
can go
people,
so left.
yeah, some people can just be like, no, I'm going to kill you.
It can just go left.
And
even
again,
without
rage.
the intention.
Like rage is crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's mad.
Yeah. Dilemmas? Dilemmas. Let's get to this week's dilemmas. Hopefully none of you are doing crazy things, but I'm sure you're doing a little bit of crazy things. First dilemma. Hi, ladies. I hope you are well and send you infinite amounts of love and blessings. I've been watching since 2019. The podcast has supported me through a whole ass medical degree. Congratulations. The pandemic. I had you guys on repeat. It was the only thing that helped me through the loneliness of that wretched time. Several breakups and family drama for days. I appreciate you guys endlessly and so excited for your next chapter. On to my dilemma. I met this guy on Hinge in October and our first date was magical. We've been dating properly for about 4 months and even we've met each other's parents. Things are going relatively smoothly despite being in different cities and my busy schedule as a doctor. Up until now, we had both been living with our parents. He recently made them move to the big city to pursue a new job and he was looking for a house to live in. We all know the London housing market and rental market is a hot mess right now. So he's been looking at several properties and not found anything that he likes. The only property that he has liked so far has 5 women living in it currently. Initially, he turned it down and kept looking because I expressed I wasn't comfortable with him living in a house with 5 women that I hadn't met. After 4 months of dating. Wow. How are you not meeting men that listen to you like this? Because my niggas will be like, who the fuck are you? Like, as in, like, so am I going to fuck all 5 of them? To be honest, another problem in itself, because there were several houses with men that seemed reasonable. So why didn't he like the vibe of those, but he likes the vibe with the Playboy mansion? How do you not see women? Anyway, he was understandably getting stressed with the pressure of doing house viewings whilst working and managing his social life. He mentioned that he was going to message this house with the 5 girls and see if the room was still available, and it turns out it was. I expressed to him my severe discomfort with the situation and that I really wouldn't be happy with him living with any group that solely consisted of women, especially if I don't know them and they're not his friends. But despite this, he has gone ahead and confirmed he'll be moving in 6 weeks. Bear in mind, I offered for us to split rent on a 1-bed place halfway between our workplaces as an alternative, but he said it's too soon in our relationship. We would be at the 6-month mark by the time we move in. We had a massive argument about this. He essentially doesn't respect the fact that I'm uncomfortable with him living with 5 girls. He feels I should be optimistic and I should meet these women before passing judgment or being anxious or insecure. After the argument, he ended up cutting the phone off on me and airing me for most of the next day because he didn't like my attitude. And I brought up that I'm not sure whether the future of our relationship lies because I don't feel right going over to chill at the house when I feel I've been mugged off by him. So my question is, ladies, is what I should do. We've not been dating very long. I'm thinking about relocating my career to the United States in a couple of years, and I don't think I deserve this kind of treatment, especially being made to feel guilty about my reaction to something which I feel is destructive and inconsiderate decision. It would make it easier to move abroad if I don't have relationship ties here, and it's early days, so wouldn't it be as deep to end it now since he's thrown up massive red flags? What do you think? Do I wait to see how it is when he moves into the house and see how I feel, or bun it off because he invalidated my feelings. The thought of him bonding with these girls over dinner, TV every evening, seeing him once a week, fortnight, since I've been living in a different city alone makes me feel sick. Please impact your wisdom. Kisses.
Ooh.
Girl, be fucking for real.
Yeah,
man.
I think you're being very unreasonable.
Sorry, I'm not on your side on
Yeah,
this.
same. I think you're being really unreasonable. The guy needs somewhere to live, hon. Like, he needs a point blank in period.
Do you think this guy is Avon Pierre? Like, in your head, have you imagined all these women knocking at one on Monday, the next one on Tuesday, and then, in fact, there's even 5 of them for every day of the week,
exactly.
and they're all
then
doing a
you're on
conveyor
weekend.
belt in and out of his room, fucking. Do you think it's gonna be a cum fest of women all over his door? Do you think every time they watch dinner and watch movies together, they're gonna hold
He must be
hands?
irresistible.
And he's like dating all 5 of them at the same time, and in fact, all 5 of them are single, and all 5 of them are straight, and all 5 of them are so attracted to him, and all 5 of them want to marry him. Get your head out of your fucking ass!
Yeah, God forbid women have also have choice in the situation. Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm not on your side at all. I think you are being very, very unreasonable. Listen, I understand a tinge of the feel of the.
I would
fear.
feel like,
Like,
but
I get it. It's not.
that's
I get it. It's not an ideal situation. But then,
I
living
think-
with 5 guys is also not an
I
ideal
also
situation.
think that women think that men that cheat only cheat when it's ideal. No, they travel cities.
Yeah,
I said that
yeah.
if he wants to
The most
cheat on you, if
inconvenience.
he wants to be having sex with someone else, he just would. It wouldn't be, it was made easier because they live with me. Like, as in, like, if he's that way inclined and he was going to disrespect you, he would. This is not a layup for him to cheat.
No, it's not. I think she literally thinks this is like
Yeah.
a platform for him, and it's just going to elevate the chances just because there's more girls around. Listen, like, Tolly named all of the many reasons why it's probably not going to happen. But I think that first and foremost, he needs somewhere to live. I don't think that you've been together long enough to definitely not to be moving in together. I think
Yeah. I think that was too hasty on your
That's
half, I can't lie.
definitely too intense, considering the time period. But I just don't think you can dictate to someone where they live. Like, I just don't think you have that right. So it's as simple as that for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he's not gonna do anything, but if he wanted to, he still can. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
And also, like, why have you, like I've said before, why are you a loser in your imagination? Why in your imagination have you imagined them having dinner together and bonding over telly? Like, why have you lost in your world? Like, you said he's busy, you're busy. I assume all the 5 women that live there are also very busy. Do you know what I mean? They're probably like in and out. I do not think there's going to be nights where they're all bonding together. Like, most people's housemates rarely see each other. Everyone goes into their room. In fact, they're probably going to kind of avoid him because he's the man. In fact, they probably feel quite uncomfortable that fucking man is here. But hey, we need somebody. And yes, the likelihood that he would feel more comfortable in a house run by women, let me lean into stereotypes, probably a bit cleaner. Probably like a nicer place, probably look after themselves compared to 5 men who maybe 4 of them haven't washed this week. So maybe it might be more appealing to live somewhere that's clean, well maintained, they've got order. Again, I'm definitely leaning into stereotypes, but that's how I see it. He likes the vibe or whatever. And again, I have a big thing of that, like, whoever I'm dating, they're not my property, bruv. Because if you want to be bad, you're going to be bad. It's not down to, like, I used to be like, like checking phones, doing this. It doesn't make them stop.
It doesn't.
If they're going to do it, they're going to do it.
Yep, I really think that when you try to rule with an iron fist, it actually makes them worse. I actually think that sometimes you have to just lead with trust, and whatever's meant to be will be. Whatever's going to happen is inevitable, regardless. You know what I mean? Like, you can't actually control it. But I also don't think that you should pin your dreams on the outcome of this situation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you've always had dreams of going to America and doing whatever, I think that you should think about that outside of your relationship with this person. Do you know what I mean? But I just think you're doing too much when it comes to the house situation. Let that man go and live where he needs to live. Chances are you'll probably... Listen, I've done a house share with 5 girls. It's really not what Tolly's describing. Everyone really was just holed up in their rooms the whole time with their boyfriends. Like, no one really talked to anybody. Like, you might bump into each other once in a while in the kitchen and just have a quick chat and keep it moving. But it's not this idealistic thing that not idealistic, the opposite of idealistic, but it's not this, like, image that you have in your head.
And I can understand the little jealousy of that. Like, if you're with someone, if you're in a long distance thing, you do kind of feel a little bit jealous of for me, like all of their friends.
Yeah, because they're going to
Because
have
it's
more
like,
access to
oh,
him.
you all get to spend time with this person more than I do, sort of thing. So I can understand that, but it doesn't mean I say, hey, I don't want you to hang around with them.
Exactly.
Because I'm going to feel a bit of jealousy, whatever. And look, you're saying that you might go to America in a couple of years. Sister, you're a doctor. You've done all of the
You're
hard
already
things in
superior
this
to
world.
most already
You're
as
better
it
than
is.
all of us. Don't let this be your downfall.
No, exactly. Not a man.
Not a man.
Not a man, honey. Like, do not let that waver.
You are
your
actually
excellence.
a superior being. You're not in medical school for about 7 fucking
Exactly.
years. You're not there for time.
And you're going to let a man crumble you?
And then you're going to go
Stand
to
up.
America where medicine is private, so you're going to be in the belly with money. Sis.
Think about the bigger things.
Yeah.
The
Enjoy
bigger
the
picture.
now. You don't need to... And also, good for him for standing his ground, man. What do you mean? Look, I understand in being considerate and being like, okay, well, how you feel about this thing, but please, you're not my God.
No.
If it's convenient for me and it works for me,
Exactly.
why would
do you know
I
what
now not do it?
Good rent, good location, nice room. I'm
Clean
sorry.
girls, pretty.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
helping. Big bum girls.
She thinks that they're going to be in like hot pants,
Yeah.
asking for help.
They're all going to be fucking
To
every day
reach
in
for
his
things
room.
up high in her little.
And then one day you're going to go
pom-pom
visit
shorts.
him and all the girls are just spread it across
And they're
his
just
room.
like sitting around listening
In
to his
hot
stories
pants,
about
yeah,
football.
and
Like,
slip dresses.
No one cares about him.
And he
babe.
tells them the days about how he used to play football. And if he didn't hurt his ankle, still be playing. You're like, wow,
Exactly. Like,
almighty man.
tell us more.
Thank you for moving into our female-infested home. Thank you for the energy you brought in. We love you, sir. Do you want some more grapes?
Exactly, as one feeds him and the other rubs his
Or
hair.
they're having big orgies of one's like, please, sir, can I have some more of that dick?
No, it's not going to happen.
Like,
babe.
is there any more dick for me, sir?
Like late night visits,
Please.
late night knocks
Please.
on the door.
Hey, it might happen. Who knows? We'll see.
It's also not impossible, but yeah.
Nothing is impossible.
Write us back if it is. I'm joking, but let that man live. Okay. Next dilemma.
Let's go.
Hi, ladies. I would really like some advice on being a young stepmom. Yikes, I'm only 30, y'all. Okay. But firstly, I love you both and I've been tuned in since day dot. I love your rawness, transparency and kindness you both have. To my dilemma, my man has 3 kids.
Baby father, be a father to your child.
He's a great
Your
dad.
child think it's not even worthwhile.
He's a great dad and co-parents well with his baby mum, which I like as they are both clearly very child-focused. The dilemma, my boyfriend's son is 19 and has a girlfriend. They now want to be doing sleepovers at each other's houses and he has asked his dad, my man, if his girlfriend can stay the night. Now, this is a big problem for me because I was not brought up like this. My view is he wants to do adult things and he isn't an adult, then he should just get a hotel or go to her house. This is just not okay and makes me very uncomfortable. I have voiced this to him, and whilst I can see he tries to include me in the decision making at the end of the day, he has made up his mind and his view is he would rather have them in his home than not have him at home at all, where he doesn't feel comfortable. I'm worried that we are just not aligned with parenting, and this makes me worry about if we had children. I asked him if this was his daughter, would he be the same? And he was very clear that he wouldn't. And he is much stricter on her, and this would never be the case due to her gender. He's so outdated and contradictory in his views, and I honestly worry that if we had children, we would be in constant battle about boundaries and expectations. Is this a deal breaker? I just feel like it's not my place to parent his children or input my views, as end of the day, they have their parents. Thanks for any advice. I think you answered your own dilemma. I think you answered this is wait, I'm assuming that they live together.
I pose a question back to you. Is this a deal breaker? I don't know. Like, as in, because for me, okay, let me put myself in that situation. If I'm with a man, whatever, and I assume it's his home, and he's saying, yeah, my son's kid and his girlfriend can live here, can stay here or whatever, I can't say anything about I find them situations very, very thinky because, again, for me, I'm sensitive to things like that because I don't like insult. And as soon as somebody can say, but is it your kid?
Is it your kid?
But
Is
what's
it your house? It's even
when,
double.
when I know that a response can be, an insult can be laden in a response, I very much keep out of it. And as soon as I hear, yeah, but is it your home? Now, if it was our kid, I've got
all
equal
the
right to
say.
put my foot down and to be like, no, that's not happening, whatever. I think how he parents with his current mother of his children and how he parents with you are going to look differently because clearly the mother's okay with it. They're both okay with it. They've agreed it is okay. If you're in a position where it's your children, like both your kids, and you're not okay with it, I assume it's not going to happen. Because one of us is saying no, one of us is saying yes. So it's like, okay, cool, it's not happening then. I do understand at 19 being like, hey, I'd actually rather you be doing whatever you're doing in the house than you do it in a hotel. I hard agree.
Yeah, same. I just think, yeah, exactly that. Like, you don't really have much of a say unless it is the home that you both share. But I'm just going with, it's his house, whatever. I think I would just stay out of it. Like, this is just not something I'd be prepared to like lose sleep over. I understand why it has got you worried about what that looks like if you guys have kids, but as Tolly said, you will be the mother of that child and you'll have every right to have your say when it comes to that child. And I think that the easiest thing when it comes to these things is just to have a zero tolerance policy on both kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you have a son, if you have a daughter, like for me, that's how I'm gonna do it. Like, it's not gonna be one rule for my son and one rule for my daughter. Everybody follows these rules or you can get to step in, basically. But we're not there yet, so I just,
I think the conversation needs to be had with him to be like, oh, okay, if this was because again, he said if his daughter, he'll be different. If this was our children and I say, actually, no, I don't want them to have anyone stay around and that's the rule here and that's the rule, and then you go from there. That how he parents with his current baby mother is I'm sorry, but it's got very little to do with you. Especially when you said they're both good parents.
Exactly. There's no other, it's not a mess. There's nothing. It's just this situation. I don't think that I'd be like losing sleep over this person.
Yeah, and if you don't live in their man's house and you're just a case of like you stay over there, when the girlfriend's out, just not going to stay there that day. If I find it that uncomfortable, I'll stay in my own house or my parents' house, whatever, and then I'll come back when they like. But I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. It just wouldn't be an issue for me because it's got nothing to do with me.
And I think once you like put your position in a place where you are a stepmother adjacent, you have to be okay to be like, you know what, this is you lot.
Especially because I get and I appreciate the fact that he's tried to bring you in, because some people can be quite insular with their kids and they would exclude the person. Do you know what I mean? So it feels nice that he's tried to bring you in, but I guess like the situation is now that you're at loggerheads about it. So he gets the final say.
Because even if he's bringing, he's still going to be like, okay, cool, but I still say yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's still got that. I mean, he can tell you about it and maybe you can offer some perspective that you haven't thought about it. You guys have discussed it. But ultimately, if he doesn't agree and he has to have the final say. And he clearly is very much with it.
And if the deal breaker for you is that, like, actually, I don't like how he raises his daughter, or I don't like that his views are dated or whatever, then that's a deal breaker. If the problem is actually, I'm worried that when we have children, you're going to treat one sex different than the other or whatever, then that's a deal breaker. So the question is not to me. You have to ask yourself, actually, am I bothered that this man is going to treat, if we have a girl compared to a boy, is he going to treat them differently? Am I bothered that he's the kind of parent that lets someone stay at the house? And if that bothers you, then that's the question that I reflect back to you. Right, next dilemma. Hi, Audrey and Tolly. First, I want to thank you guys for creating such a safe space and keeping me company during my school commute and gym workouts. After years of listening to other people's dilemmas, it's finally my turn to seek advice. My situation is very complex, so I will try and provide as much context as possible. Also, sorry in advance if I've missed any typos. I am a 21-year-old first-generation African baddie and the youngest of 3 siblings, a sister, 25, whom I live with, and my brother, 22, who still lives with our parents. Our childhood was not the best. Our father was an alcoholic who undeniably lies and undiagnosed depression. Growing up in such an environment was certainly not easy for me. I had to deal with a father who would very frequently go through episodes of binge drinking and try to cover it up by acting sober, or sometimes I would go for days without seeing him because he would just lie in bed drunk, drinking for many consecutive days. This obviously created a difficult family dynamic since he would become very angry and aggressive when drunk. He would hide his drinks and would get angry if anyone called him out for secretly drinking. I would also worry whether he would be sober or not when picking me up from after-school sports. He would create conflicts just to exert power because, African men and their egos. He had and still has side hoes, emotional, and continues to disrespect my mother by being rude to her, insulting her, yelling at her, being manipulative and unfaithful, and even got abusive a few times. He even tried to physically fight my brother twice, once when I was 15 and then last Christmas. And both times I had to get in between them, 2 grown men, mind you. All in all, I stopped feeling safe at home. I even started to feel depressed at around 12 years old, and I continue to live with depression, triggered by my environment, but also genetics. Yikes. Sorry, she didn't say yikes, she said I don't know why I said, I read YK as yikes. Now for my dilemma. After to my mum and my siblings, I want to cut my dad off. My siblings got upset and started stating things like, you shouldn't say that, that's your dad. You shouldn't cut him off because you need him financially. For context, my sister is supporting me financially right now since she's working full time and I'm a uni student. I still pay rent, but she'd cover most expenses. But it's now worried that I don't have safety net anymore, aka my dad, and keeps asking what I would do if she was to move out in a year, even though we had agreed to live together for my whole undergrad. But she doesn't recall that conversation. But I'm not worried about money, but they constantly bring it up. They also said we were also hurt growing up, but think all these things he sacrificed to give us the life we have here. Those things shouldn't be said about him. He's your father. Just be respectful when you see him, but don't cut him off. You get the vibes. The whole part about him sacrificing things for us, I'm forever grateful for all he's done, but just because he's fulfilling his traditional duty as a provider doesn't mean he can emotionally neglect and abuse me and get away with it. I'm tired of being hurt by my father and do not want to be in that space or environment anymore. I haven't opened to my siblings much about my feelings, depression, anxiety, and how growing up was for me. So all their arguments come from limited context on my end, and it's not easy for me to open to them since there's never been a space to do that. And now I'm so far off, it feels foreign to me to be vulnerable with them, but I have my dear, dear friends who have always been with me. To continue, my nervous system is not safe at home anymore, and my siblings don't even realise how mean and condescending they can be towards me when they are in that environment. Everyone thinks this is a phase and that I'm just lashing out for another reason why I want to cut him off is because of how similar we are. I'm starting to go through some intense depressive episodes because, you know, adulting is hard and I've been struggling with smoking too much Zaza and drinking sometimes to stop the bad thoughts. Basically, same patterns as my dad. But even if I live with depression and smoke too much, I don't abuse the people around me. It's still a choice how you decide to act, and he actively chooses arsehole each time. The other reason is that I'm a raging, closeted lesbian and my father is super homophobic. To go through the emotional turmoil of fixing a relationship I know won't last, it's not emotionally worth it for me. I haven't been home since Christmas incident. The whole stay at my parents' house was emotionally draining. Now, my siblings, mainly brother, is arguing that it is unfair that I'm putting myself before the family by not wanting to go home or sleep over at home, that I'm neglecting them and it's too early in life for me to be acting this way. Mind you, I literally live with my sister. My brother can come over at any time. And I call my mum almost every day and see her on campus as she works at my uni. What bothers me the most is that they care more about the consequences of cutting him off rather than how I feel. My feelings haven't once been validated from my siblings. They want to just push my feelings aside and go home and act like everything is fine. Also, the why is the whole burden of the relationship is with my father is on me. Why can't we hold the adult responsibility of his actions and how they affected me instead of saying I'm victimizing myself, neglecting the rest of the family because I do not want to be around my father? To add, I believe in chosen family. I don't believe in keeping people in your life for the sake of family, which my siblings both strongly believe in since 90% of the arguments are, he's still your father at the end of the day. Okay, and I want peace, no wahala and pain, I beg. I want to add that my decision to cut my dad off was not taken lightly at all. It's been something I've been thinking about for years and was waiting until I was in a decent financial spot to go through with it. So it's going to happen eventually. My father and I barely have a relationship prior to my decision. It kind of fizzled out throughout the year and now things are awkward. Just a hi, how are you, how is work and school, that's it. So me cutting him off doesn't even change much. It's been difficult to deal with emotionally and my siblings haven't provided any support. They keep trying to get me to change my mind and it's making me start to resent them a little bit. My siblings are also accusing me of being too nonchalant. Like I said, very complex, but any advice would be grateful. Thank you. A sad and emotionally avoidant lesbian.
Aww.
We are going to make you a happier lesbian. Okay, so the whole time reading that, what kept recurring in my mind is sometimes when people choose a version of their life and you don't, they like, no, come to us where we're at. Like, as in, like, when people are like, well, this is life, it's just your dad, you just accept it, whatever. When you're like, actually, no, it is not life. I can actually choose something else. People want you to join them in their misery. Well, we've had to deal with it. Well, we grew up like that and we decided to still be his kid and we decided to still talk to him. Okay, that's what you guys decide. Like, as in, I don't have to join in because you guys say that's what you want to accept. You lot are sealing your fate with my father. I can seal a different fate with my father and decide that actually this is not from me. I am a firm believer that you can have identical households and bring up different children.
1,000,000%.
Different kids get different parents. like how I see my mum is not how my sister sees my mum is not how my other sister sees my mum, and the same for you as well. You all see your dad in very different ways, even though you've had some things that are quite like, oh, hey, this drinking thing affected us all, but you all took something differently from it. Hey, like, I don't know if your siblings drink and smoke, but like that's something you took from it. It affects people in different ways. The older I've got, I kind of rate people who don't chat to their parents because I'm so aware that this must have been a hard decision. So for you to actually be like, yeah, I'm done, they did some fuckery.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you definitely was like, you know what, I got to put me first. And honestly, in the words of Emma Creed, start with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you have to put yourself first. If this thing is damaging you in all the ways and you're now becoming a reflection of all the things that you hate about this man, I think it is, yes, I do think you should cut him off. And if he's that bothered by it, he will come and seek you and he will seek your forgiveness. And if he's not, then he's not. You do not have to listen to your siblings. Your siblings' lives are very, very different to yours. I even wait if you even try to chat to them about it, to be like, hey guys, this is how I feel. But like, if they're not going to validate your feelings, and again, I think your feelings should be, you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're actually right. People's parents have done less and they've been like, no, I don't want this. Like, I'm actually not down. I want no part of this. And you are allowed to say that. You don't have to seal your fate like your siblings just because they're like, but we're dealing with it. Okay, you don't deal with it then. I don't want to fucking deal with it. I want something different.
You.
And again, you said that like you are a lesbian. You even know that there's going to be
There's
more
even another
problems to
layer.
come. Yeah, it's not even that like, oh, we're going to make up this thing and it's going to
Yeah.
be great. No, one day you're going to introduce your girlfriend, you're going to introduce your wife, and it's going to be another layer of hatred. Sometimes you just got to protect yourself from some bullshit, man. And I think if you... And I know this is not a thing you just woke up randomly and was like, yeah, I'm going to stop chatting to my dad. This is clearly something that's bothered you. You've thought about this consistently. I would do what you have to do, girl.
Yeah, I definitely agree. When she added the extra layer of her being a closeted lesbian, I was like, well, girl, like, then I guess ultimately you're kind of delaying the inevitable because you already have there's already a toxic relationship there. And now it's just going to exacerbate the situation and make it worse. And I definitely think that it sounds like you're really cemented in what you want to do. And I feel like you should listen to your gut. Like Tolly was saying, I think that, you know, it's all well and good the siblings saying that, but that's their lived experience, that's their choice. And, you know, if they don't want to deal with maybe some internalized issues they have towards their dad or not, that's on them. But you've got to take reins of your own life. And
people are really angry when you don't choose misery like that.
they really are. Like sometimes,
Makes them very
sometimes
angry.
it's more to do with that. Sometimes it's more about the fact that you're actually brave. Like, how dare you step outside of the status quo? Like, this is how we do things here, and you're the one that wants to go and be a rebel and be different. But a lot of the times, that person ends up being the beginning of a domino effect for other people that are not always brave enough to do certain things. And I just feel like your siblings are essentially co-signing your dad's behavior by not holding him accountable and allowing him to just get away with it, and you don't want to. The only thing I will say, the only caveat I would add, because I do think that you are on the road to cutting him off and going no contact, and I think that ultimately that will be the right decision. The only thing that kind of stood out to me was the fact that you said that you already don't really have a relationship with him. So what I would ask you to do is, what do you want to get out like of the no contact thing? Is it that you want to state that you're going no contact to maybe trigger some sort of reaction, or do you plan on just going no contact and not telling anybody? Because at the end of the day, if the relationship is already akin to being no contact anyway, what difference does the announcement of it make? Like, what do you want to get out of it from the announcement?
Siblings.
Yeah,
I think she wants us to be like, yeah, you know what, we understand it, and like, you're not gonna get that.
Yeah, you're not,
because like, I think I can be of the ilk of the, you know what, they're still your parent.
Yeah, I definitely have that in me.
I definitely have that in me. And they were like, maybe if I was more westernized, there'll be certain things I'd be like, fuck this. But like, I definitely still have that like, oh, you know what, whatever, they're still your parent, they still did this for you, whatever. But also, I'm not really also of the belief of being like, you have to be grateful for all that they've done for you. Well, you were fucking meant to.
Yeah, exactly. Once you decided to keep me, then that was your responsibility.
Yeah.
And I don't think that people should be guilt-tripped about that. But yeah, I just think, what is the plan for going no contact? And how do you plan on executing it? If it is to get validation from, like, we've established, like, that's not coming from the siblings. They've made up their mind about what they want to do. Do you want to announce it and see what happens? Or are you just going to just do? Because there's nothing stopping you from just doing it. Do you know what I mean? Because the relationship is already fractured. There's no relationship there, essentially. You kind of just come and go.
Maybe there's something in announcing it that's punishing of that person.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
That you fucked up so much, I'm not talking to you anymore. And that's something sometimes you want to punish that person for what they've done.
You want to let them know that actually I don't fuck with you. And that is a form of like trying to hold the person accountable. So I'll just say, if deep down, because it might not be at the forefront of your subconscious, of your conscience, but just be aware that if there is an element of that there, you may not get the reaction that you want. So just be self-assured that you're purely doing this for yourself more so than trying to get a reaction out of the person, because you may not get it and you have to be at peace and okay with that. But essentially, I think you should go no contact.
Yeah. And I think I don't know, I assume maybe your university might offer this. Just find a way to get some sort of therapy or talk to somebody. Like speak to somebody in your school that might do it, your GP, whatever. But I think it's really, really important. I think there was a lot, especially that you were saying that you're drinking a lot and you're smoking a lot as well. I do think there is something that's like you need. And I think sometimes when you're in uni, you're like, we're just in uni having fun, and you underestimate. No, you're drinking a fucking
coping
lot.
mechanism.
Yeah. This is a lot of fucking alcohol. And sometimes when you're in that space of being at uni, you're like, oh, we're all there drinking whatever. No.
Yeah,
not this amount. And for you to say, hey, I'm actually drinking a fucking lot. And also for you to have an alcoholic in your family, I'm not of the disbelief that these things are maybe not nature but nurture. You see it to be like, well, this is how my mum copes, so this is how I'm gonna, or this is how my dad copes, this is how I'm gonna cope as well.
I think addiction is hereditary.
Yeah, I think there is something in it. I do think there is something in it. So I do think it's worth trying to see if you can get help, whether from uni, from your GP, like outside of us just being like,
actual professional
I
help.
think you should try to get professional help and someone that you speak to more consistently. Your friends are great. I'm glad that you have that outline, but I do think you are very layered and there's loads of things happening that you need to talk to someone about.
Agreed. Hard agree. Alrighty, next dilemma.
Okay.
Hi, Audrey and Tolly.
Hello.
I just want to start by saying how much I appreciate you both. You honestly have no idea what you mean to us and to me especially.
Thank you.
When you made the last announcement, I cried so much because it really hit me how long I've been listening to you. I started as a graduate assistant, then moved countries, became a nanny, did my master's, got married, had a baby, and now I have my big girl job. You've truly walked me through every stage of my life. May God continue to bless you both.
Amen.
Thank you. Amen. Now to my dilemma. Ever since I had my baby, I'm about 6 months postpartum, congratulations, I just don't find my husband attractive anymore. I don't know if it's a boy mum thing or just a general mum thing. We've only had sex about 4 times since the baby, and honestly, I deliberately prefer doing it from the back because I don't want him looking at me.
Yes, I guess like that.
It feels like I'm just trying to get it over with, and I also feel very insecure about my body, especially my tummy, so I avoid facing him. Even during pregnancy, we barely had sex. It's not like I don't care about him. We still just play, laugh, and genuinely enjoy each other's company once the baby is asleep. He even sleeps in another room, but we still spend time together at night. The only thing is that once I start feeling sleepy, I go back to my baby. He is actually a good dad, very loving, supporting, and he provides for us. There's nothing he's doing wrong, which is why I feel even worse about how I feel. But I just don't see him sexually the way I used to. I don't really have sexual urges anymore, and I just find all my joy being with my baby. I also don't sleep well anymore because I'm constantly on alert. Even when my mum came to help, it took me about 2 to 3 months to trust that I could relax and let her take care of my baby. I always feel like I'm the only one who knows him best and can care for him properly. I know this might sound bad, but I also struggle to leave my baby alone with my husband for long. He hasn't given me any reason not to trust him, but I still worry, like he might be on his phone too much or not feed the baby properly. I know I might be overthinking, but I just don't fully trust anyone else with him. With summer coming, I really miss my friends and I want to hang out, but I feel guilty even thinking about leaving my baby for more than a few hours. I also feel anxious about resuming work in September and the idea of daycare. Another thing is that I don't feel sexy at all anymore. I went from a size 14 to a 16 and my tummy is still a bit big, so I just don't feel like myself. I think that's also affecting how I feel about intimacy. I just want to ask, is this normal? Does it get better with time? Will I ever feel attracted to my husband again? I'm sorry this is a bit all over the place, but I'd really love to hear both your thoughts. Side note, I was too shy to post this on Patreon, but if you ever bring back previous co-hosts, I'd love to see them come on individually. I think it would be really nice to hear each of their stories one-on-one. I know it's not my place, but consider it.
And I'd love to have fucking Emma Creed's money.
Yeah, exactly.
We all want things.
We all want things. Also, please, you guys need to release some merch for us. A t-shirt, top, hoodie, just something to remember you girls by. I'd really love to have that. Thank you again for everything.
No, thank you. That's been a nice
Yeah,
message.
that's sweet,
And
that's sweet.
We should have some merch stuff, and we will.
Yeah, exactly. We're working on it. Woo, I think, do you know what? I think that so you're 6 months postpartum, so you're still very early in your postpartum journey. Like, your hormones are still very much all over the place. Like, I probably used to cringe when people used to go on and on about hormones, because it's just like, whatever. But it is actually very much a thing. Like, your hormones, they're not in sync. It's in sync. It says they say it takes 2 years before you feel like yourself again. So, you know, you're still very much early on in that journey. I think that body image and stuff like that after you've had a baby is a very real thing. And I would argue that a lot of the attraction element to your husband is rooted in how you feel about yourself. And I think that you can't really get to that point of intimacy with him because you don't feel good about yourself. And that is completely normal, and you shouldn't put pressure on yourself to be intimate and do all of these things. Like, intimacy comes in so many different forms. And I think that, but what's important is that I think that you talk to your husband about it. I don't think that I would say, I'm not attracted to you anymore. I feel like there's ways in which you can say it without, you know, making him feel like shit. But you can definitely communicate that, like, look, if I'm being a little bit, first of all, shout out, you've had sex 4 times in 6 months. That is excellent. Like, you're doing amazing, sweetie. You're doing amazing. But yeah, like, those feelings that you're having, I think it's really important that we learn to talk to our partners about those feelings, even when they feel like they're pertaining to them or what have you. I feel like he has the right to know, like, where your head's at, so that he's not all over the place. And it's not about him, it's more about you getting your feelings off your chest, but so that you guys are having an open line of communication about that, because it is important. Like, you haven't fallen out of love with him, you're just not feeling attracted because you're not feeling sexual. And I think that the two go hand in hand. So I just think, give yourself some time, give yourself some grace. Like, you're not feeling all the way confident about your body, and it's normal. All the other stuff, all of that is normal. Like, everything that you're saying and feeling is completely normal. So if you take any comfort from that, I hope you do. In terms of, like, feeling really attached to your baby and not trusting anybody, again, very normal. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, you know that ultimately, like, when I've been the same, like, sometimes I do feel like no one can do it the way I can do it. But then what I've learned to tell myself is that when Anaya's not with me, if she's with my mum or if she's with Nick, who are, you know, the next 2 in line, I'm like, she's with people that love her as much as me. Like, that always brings me comfort. Whenever I think that, I'm like, these people love her as much as me. They're not no harm is going to come her way when she's with them. But you do have to slowly, especially if you're going back to work, like, that one I will say, like, it is something that you might actually have to start trying to work on, because if you feel this way now with your mum and your husband, you're going to be handing that baby over to a stranger, essentially. So you're going to have to, like, really try to overcome those feelings. But it is normal. I feel like that's really the only thing I can say, is that it's normal to feel that way, to just feel really attached. I don't know whether you breastfed and stuff like that, but all of that definitely, like, elevates, like, you know, the level of closeness and stuff like that. So I just think, just be easy on yourself. Talk to your husband. Talk to him about how you're feeling. Say that you're not feeling good about yourself. Maybe he will have some words of affirmation for you that will make you feel amazing, and that just might bring the spark back. But I think it's all about talking, giving yourself some grace, and understanding that it's normal, unfortunately. And mum guilt and stuff like that, it fades, but it never leaves. And I think that once you accept that, you feel better. Like, you know, you're never not going to feel guilty, unfortunately. It's just something that, it's just a part of it. So yeah, but I'm sorry you're going through that. It's horrible, but it's normal. That's all.
Tweet.
That's all.
All right, next and final dilemma.
Next and final.
Please help a girlie out. Hey ladies, first of all, before my dilemma, in true receipts culture, I have to give you guys more than just flowers. It's love. You guys are great. Are a great cornerstone of my Wednesdays, and it's sad to see you guys go, but I know, we all know, it's onwards and upwards for you both. Tolly, you taught us to never be scared to pivot, and Audrey, you taught us that motherhood is something beautiful, and we will all truly miss you guys. Now to my dilemma. I'm a 24-year-old girl who just graduated uni abroad last year, July 2025, and came back to my home country after finishing uni to do an internship to get my license. When I came back, I was thrilled to hang out with my friends because those ladies besties are the pillar of my sanity in this life, especially my best friend. Let's call her A. Her and I and my other friend used to hang out all the time and almost every weekend, but especially her, I and A. There's no me without her and no her without me. Now, last year, A had a wedding of one of her close friends, and since she was one of the bridesmaids, she became very close to the bride's friends and her other friends and the groom's friends as well, and created a whole friendship group. Ever since, they've hanged out more often, and now on the weekends they do activities together. A and I had a conversation about the group because we like to say we're protective of people who we become friends with, since people can be weird. And she said that she does like the girls and she has a nice time with them, and I'm very happy for her. For our other friends, they have like a friendship group with other people as well, since we all went to the same uni. I went to high school with some of them, but since they studied with them in uni, they got closer whilst me not being here. I see them hanging around together on some weekends as well. A and I used to be our default hang partners on the weekend, since during the week we work and she's more fluid in her job compared to me, so she hangs out with other friends as well on Fridays. I really love my friends since I'm not close to my cousins due to my parents. You know how African parents are. And I also don't have a lot of friends at home since I didn't go to uni there. And when I see A hanging out with other friends, because she graduated earlier than me, she came back so she had time to make friends. And now I see my other friends going out together as well. I'm really sad because I feel like I have no friends to hang out with, even though I do regularly hang out with them from time to time when we get time. But I know them being my only friends and having other friends has made me think they need me as much as I could say. And it breaks my heart, especially right now when I need the weekends to relax and go out with people because my job is very tiring. Knowing I can get I have plans with so-and-so is a bit disheartening to me. Knowing I can get I have plans with so-and-so is a bit disheartening to me, or hearing they have something with other people, some people I wasn't invited to, or asked to be there because they have other friends to do activities with them. What should a girl do, since making adult friends is so hard, especially by not being able to be uni here? And telling them feels like I'm begging a bit too much. I know they love me, but I feel a bit lost on how to navigate this feeling. And what should I do from here on, especially as we age more? So for the long dilemma, I really need help. So basically, she's come back from being away. Her friends have not moved on, but made other friends, made other friendship groups. And when you do go away for a bit, you people move on, and in your absence, people have to get closer to other people. Like, let's say A, for example, if every weekend was filled with you doing things with her, you're not here anymore. A also has to be okay to make new friends. And the same way A was able to make new friends, you too will be able to make new friends. There is absolutely nothing beggy about telling your close friends who you love deeply, especially your best friends, to be like, I want to hang out with you more. I feel a bit left out. I know it's different. I have a best friend that this exact same thing happened to. She moved away. She came back and was like, life has moved on. And she moved away at a time where, in the time, we all kind of lived in the same area and around each other. By the time she came back, people had bought houses, someone had got married, someone had, everybody's life was so different. It was like, I kind of need to adjust to what it is now. And I think it takes a minute. You're going to have to adjust to the fact that maybe A is not yours anymore. And I know what that feels like, because a lot of us have a friend that's like, no, but that's mine. And we're human beings. We get very protective and very ownership of people. Like, no, but that's my girl. As in, I'm her number one, because like you said, there's no me without her. There's no her without you. The older you get, you realize that it's not as realistic anymore. I'm not saying you don't have close friends, but you realize that they're not yours. You have it with a sibling you're very close to, because your sibling will get married. You have other friends, you have other responsibilities. You have it with your friends who has other friends. They're just not yours anymore. You just have to share them with other people that love them and care about them as well. You have to be okay with that. I don't think it's beggy to be like, yo, babes, I can't lie. Coming back has been kind of hard for me, because you guys have moved on, and I just feel like I really miss you, and I miss that we're always hanging around together. A, who loves you will make more of a point to make sure that either she invites you to more places, she introduces you to more people. And I think now as well, it's your time to make other friends.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. And I think that you're at a really good starting point, because you've got a friendship group.
You've got friends,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? It's just that friendship group has expanded, and you're a little bit outside of it because you haven't been around. And so, it's mad. I feel like as the person that moves away, I think you come back thinking that everything was exactly as you left it. And then you realise, no, people have had to...
never is. People move on.
People have had to move on and make other plans and make other friends and all the rest of it. But I think that you should do the two things 100%. I think definitely tell them, what is the point in you claiming that you guys are so close if you can't tell her something as basic as I miss you. It's not like you're coming with negative energy. It's not like you're coming to drop a bomb. Like you just listen, I miss you. Like this is how I'm feeling. So definitely let them know. But yeah, I think definitely use this as an opportunity to find your own tribe as well, because I think that, not saying that it's not okay to just have one set of friends. Like it's definitely quality over quantity. But I just think that as you've noticed that, like, yeah, it might be an opportunity and a time for you to like carve out your own friendships and stuff like that. And it's very doable. Like look around, like social media is definitely a thing. Like, you know, is there anyone like you're close with that you just chat to all the time on socials that you can elevate that relationship with to meet up and just take it from there? I just think, how else do you make friends? I say it's so easy, and yet here I am with no advice on how to make friends. I think the social media thing is definitely a good start.
Yeah.
So just look around you in other communities that you have. Are there people at work that you're close with that maybe you just need to just like be in closer proximity to those people to see if there's friendship there. But yeah, definitely talk to your friendship group for starters.
Yeah, talk to your friendship, and also like sometimes do things by yourself. You need the weekends to relax. Take yourself to the cinema, go shopping, walk around. If there's an activity you like, if you like paddle, go to a paddle thing. You meet a friend there as well. Like I think. And it's at this age because you're like, oh, everybody else is in the friendship group. Everybody else does things with them and their girls.
But also, people are not doing things with their friends as much as what you think.
It's not.
Like, people are not
like,
really...
Yeah.
You don't have to fill every weekend with your friends.
That was the one... Sex and the City lied to us. Like, you don't actually meet your friends every weekend and go have margaritas.
Even on them shows, it was in the week too.
Bruv, and there were some things that was like... For example, let's say I'm making plans with a friend, right? Let's say I'm going to make a plan today. And I was like, oh, I've only got May the 25th available. I'm like... Sorry. Yeah, but sometimes I think, is everybody that busy?
Yeah, like, what are you doing now?
Or do you make plans for weekends that you don't want to do anything? Because you can't convince me you don't have a day free to May the 25th. I don't know if we're just saying it to be adults, or if it's because and I love a spontaneous hang. You're actually more likely to catch me on do you want to go dinner tomorrow? Actually, cool, sure. But this kind of like, let's meet on a... You can't, surely not every single day is filled to May the 25th.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
think
crazy. That's
unless people make plans to be like, that week I want to do nothing.
I don't plan my days like that. Like the days that I'm not doing anything, those just by default become free.
Yeah. They just
become my lazy
like,
day.
Is everybody that busy or whatever? But yeah, well, so does that to say to be like, there is no harm in you doing things by yourself. And on my first point will be to go talk to my friends to be like, yo, you lot, I miss you, man. Like, it feels a bit different. Can we like rebuild again? Especially with your friend A, because clearly you both understand and love each other. You fuck each other. Like, sorry, I said you fuck each other. That's not what I meant to say. I've been talking for too long. It's time to wrap this shit up. Yeah. I've been your girl, Tolly T.
Just call me Audrey.
Bye.
Bye, guys.